and the bat signal. Just hit my line, baby, it's that simple. You can text DM or inbox. I be there still in my robe drawers, flip flops. Like what's the problem? Where you at? Point him out, enough tough talk. I'ma knock tough Tony out. I been itchy, plus he don't deserve you, boo. Let me find out this bitch nigga is hurt. I'm a blaze blank.
You're listening to Flex Talk, a Banana Pudding Productions podcast. For more information, please visit
I feel
flexlanta.com.
kinda funny cause I never been petty. But fuck it, this nigga gon' learn today. He was fake from the jump, he don't deserve to stay. I be the chef, and this is his eviction notice. We should've did this the last.
9th. It's June 9th, Sunday morning, 11 o'clock. We are here at Flex Talk, the Flexlanta podcast for entrepreneurs. We will be interviewing Ashley and Albany today. Albany's on the way, but Ashley is here. So far this week, no updates for Flexlanta. I'm thinking we're going out of town next month for 4th of July. So if you're trying to travel with us, just stay tuned or stay connected and we guys will let you know. But other than that, we don't have any updates. Just, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and the webpage. But I want to go ahead and get into interviewing Ashley because this is my first time meeting her. So I'm excited to get these questions out. But I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself, tell her Instagram, tell you guys where she's from, how what she does for a living, and then I'm going to open up with some questions.
Alright, hey guys, my name is Ashley. My Instagram is @Reese, 2 underscores. It's spelled REEESE, and then 2 underscores. Basically, I'm a personal trainer as well as a group fitness instructor as my main job, and I recently got my LLC for my own business. It's called Reese Fitness, and what I provide is nutritional coaching, online fitness programs, and in-person training. And I focus predominantly on women's health. My goal is really just to help people feel, live, and perform better at the end of the day.
All right. Where are you from?
I'm originally from New York, Long Island.
What brought you to Atlanta?
I was in D.C. for actually about 5 years. I went to Howard after I stayed another year, and then I moved down here with my boyfriend because we've been long distance for a while, and we settled on the state. We both liked it.
How'd you like Howard?
I loved Howard. It's definitely a big reason why I became an entrepreneur. I went to school for health science. I was supposed to be a physical therapist. I was supposed to go back to school. After seeing so many people that looked like me start their own businesses, I had no fear not going back to school. So that, I would say Howard is a big reason why I'm an entrepreneur. Like, if it wasn't for me seeing that, I probably wouldn't have done it.
You play any sports growing up?
Everything. I did dance and gymnastics for about 6 years each. Outside of that, I dabbled in softball, soccer, track, and cross country.
What was your main sport in high school?
Gymnastics, definitely gymnastics.
You get any scholarships for school?
I did, but it was academic. I got full tuition at Howard.
At Howard? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. What would have been your second choice of school?
To Howard? I didn't have a second choice because Howard gave me the most money. So they won.
Yeah. What type of workouts do you do? Like, what's your favorite? You like boxing? You like weightlifting?
I love to lift. Mm-hmm. I recently got into kickboxing. It's a challenge for me, so I like that now. But lifting is like my go-to.
Mm-hmm. Lifting heavy?
Yes.
What's the difference between lifting heavy and lifting light for your gains? Like, what does it do for you?
For me, I would say I lift light and then I'll go fast for like a cardio workout. Mm-hmm. But like if I'm trying to actually grow and like stimulate my muscle, I have to go heavy.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. You got any questions for me? And then I'm gonna keep breaking down some more questions for you.
What made you start this podcast?
Like 2 years ago when we started it, we just did it to I don't know, because I knew a lot of interesting people, or I know a lot of interesting people, mm-hmm. and I like to figure them out and ask them questions. So I was like, my cousin had access to, or he had the tools to run a podcast, because he has his own podcast.
Okay.
So he was like, you can come up with a show. And I was like, hell yeah, come up with a show and just interview random people and just figure them out, you know what I mean? And post it on YouTube, post it on the webpage. And it's just an extension to what the Flexlanta brand is. Just a platform to meet people. So I like it. And then we stopped doing it for like a year and a half and then brought it back this past May. So right now we're in the summer schedule from May to July, and then the fall schedule will start in September. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I like doing it. So you just moved out here like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
What's your least favorite thing about where you live, or at least the Atlanta itself? You have one?
No, I don't.
What's your favorite thing?
I could say least favorite thing is like a negative and a positive. The food is really good, so I haven't been eating the way I'm supposed to.
What spots have you been to?
Where? Bojangles. Too much.
You
Where?
have Bojangles in DC?
No. Well, I mean, no, we do, but it's like one. It doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't taste as good as it tastes down here.
What else? What other food spots?
I really can't remember. We went to like this hot dog place in Pond City Market that was really good. We've been to a lot of places. I just don't remember the names.
Y'all got a lot of good food spots in DC though. Right?
Dude, they do, but it's not like Southern food. So.
Y'all got what are y'all known for?
DC. I really wouldn't say that they were known for a specific food item. I don't know. Cause I'm not a DC native. I was just there for 5 years.
What made y'all move to DC?
I was in DC for school, yeah, and then I just decided to stay.
Yeah, that makes sense. What gym did you go to in DC?
I worked at Elevate Interval Fitness. I also worked at CrossFit Petworth, and then I kind of went to like almost probably a lot of other gyms on free trials.
And you were training up there? Were you personally
Yeah,
training up there?
I was a group fitness instructor. I coached at Elevate Interval Fitness, their group fitness classes. It's like a HIIT style class. I coach at CrossFit Petworth. I coach their fast fit classes, and then I personally train on my own through my business.
I had a question for you. So as far as a personal trainer, do you find it easier to promote on social media or go out and meet people like face to face?
It's easier to promote on Instagram, but face to face is what works. In DC, I was really fortunate that despite all my promoting, all my clients actually were by word of mouth. So that was something that like is my challenge down here, is like having to get out and meet new people.
What are your tactics? Or I guess you don't have to explain your tactics, but like on social media, do you put more time into your social media than the average person, do you think?
Probably a little bit, yeah, just because my goal right now is to produce more educational content. So I have to sit down and kind of think about it. But I'm not scheduled like as much as maybe I would want to be. I don't have like, I have the times I post, but I don't have like my posts done a week out. It'd be like the day of, and it's like, okay, this got to get done by 5.
You want to do that or you just don't?
Sometimes I want to.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be easy on me, so I don't have to worry about it, and I could just like, go through life, not be like, oh, at 5 o'clock this has to get done. Sometimes I don't, because it seems not as authentic to me, and I know I'll never be like posting every day. That will never be me. I post 3 times a week, and I don't think I could do any more than that. So as much as I would like to, I don't know if it would be for me.
Yeah. You think Instagram is necessary for entrepreneurs?
Yes, I wish it wasn't, because then I wouldn't use it as much. But it is, because it's like when you move to somewhere new, how someone gonna know what you've done. So it's like a walking portfolio for your business. It's the best way for someone to see how you grew, what you did a year ago, what you're doing today, what you did last month. So it's definitely necessary, but I wouldn't harp on it as your only source of like getting people to know your story.
So to piggyback off of that, do you think like followers and likes and views are important, or is it more so your content?
That's a hard part. So followers, likes, and views are important, because at the end of the day, when you look at someone's page and they have like 1,000 followers, but they're following like 20,000 people, that don't add up. Because basically having higher followers than what you follow, it gives you that clout. Like, okay, you know what you're talking about. But when companies are starting to look at your business, they look at your engagement more than anything else. So I myself, I don't even have 5,000 followers, but I've had businesses like want me to promote their stuff on my page because my followers actually engage with me. So for me, Instagram used to be about followers. To be completely honest, I was like, I want to get to 5K. But now I'm like, what's the point? I just want to get to know the people that are following me. I want to get to know the people that actually care about what I'm posting, because those people that matter.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. So you don't really put too much effort into growing your followers?
I just put effort into my content.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with that, my followers will grow by default.
You have your boyfriend here with you, right?
Yep.
What's his name?
Jamari.
Jamari, you work out too, brother?
Yeah.
By force.
Trying not to die, basically.
When he wants me to train him.
Yeah. How's that go?
Good. He works hard.
Yeah.
She a tough trainer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you take a program, you will get your results.
Right. You have more female clients than male clients, or a little bit balance happening?
Female. I definitely, it just happened. I didn't actively want, I wasn't like, oh, I'm only going to teach women. Mm-hmm. I think it's just because I used to be overweight, so I think I just understand them at a way that a male probably never could. And by default, all my clients have mostly been females.
Now, when you say overweight, is it you just thought you were big, or were you legit overweight?
No, I was legit overweight. So my first year in school, I gained about 30. In college, I gained about 30 pounds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was the heaviest I had ever been. I had no coach, no sports. Just walking upstairs was hard. It was just bad. And then after that, I was enough is enough. Because I knew what I could do when I used to be able to do, and I lost the weight.
How'd you gain that weight?
Eating. It was just you up late studying, you eat. Everything was takeout, Again, from being an athlete, I never noticed how much my coach mattered. That was the reason I was working out. That was the reason I was eating good. So when I had no coach in my life, and it was just me to be accountable, I just started you eat more, you eat later, you don't sleep, you don't work out, you're partying, you're drinking, and all of that just kept packing on the pounds. Yeah.
You did a lot of partying?
First semester, yeah. Second semester, nipped it in the butt because I gained a lot of weight.
So what would you say, okay, so your clients, are most of them trying to lose weight?
Yes.
Yeah. What would you say is your coolest part about what you do when helping somebody lose weight?
I feel
what gives you the most excitement, I guess?
Getting them past the number on the scale. Mm-hmm. When I get my client to get over that and just look at themselves, do you feel like you look good? Screw the scale, screw a measurement, and they're just yeah, I feel good. That's where I'm oh yeah, I'm excited when they feel good, or they hit a heavier lift, or their weights are going up. It's more about getting them to see the small accomplishments over that 20-pound weight loss goal. When I can remove that from their focus, that really makes me happy.
Do you get them to get on the scale? Do you do the measurements when you sign them up, or you just get
I ask them to weigh themselves, but I do not weigh them. I'm not a big believer in the scale. I prefer photos. So I ask all my clients to take before and after photos, because naturally fat weighs less than muscle. So basically, a lot of time my clients, when we first start working out, they tend to gain weight, and I have to explain to them, you gained muscle, you didn't gain fat, this is okay. And that's why I don't do the scale. But if you take photos, you can see how your body composition actually is changing.
Yeah, I feel you on that too. Because I deal with clients, and they feel like they're gaining weight.
Mm-hmm.
It's that muscle, because we lift a lot of weights. But as far as me, when I like to see my clients' progression, I don't pictures are cool for advertisement, of course, people can see it. But I like videos though. I like to see if my client is moving a little bit faster between his or her sets, or able to pick up more weight and not get tired. Because when you get to videos, for me, I'll post videos on the page, but I don't really post them for my benefit. I post them so my clients can see themselves and see, what they're doing wrong, see what they're doing right. See where, since they can't see their back muscles growing or getting shredded, I might record their back and now they can see it. So I like videos too. Pictures are cool, but I see what you're saying. But I definitely like videos, just to see, because I deal with a lot of athletes too.
All right.
So they're running fast, jumping higher, stuff like that. But do you have any clients that are looking to gain weight?
I don't currently, but I have in the past.
How do you get them to gain weight?
It's a big adjustment in diet. So I had a girl who's like on the slimmer side, fast metabolism. With her, it was just, I had to get her lifting heavy, like as heavy but safe for her, because that's the thing, when you're that small and you start lifting heavy, it's hard because they don't have nothing to really bear that weight. So slowly getting them to lift heavier weights progressively, and then getting them to eat more and eat better. A lot of girls just think, oh, I'm just gonna eat whatever to gain weight, but it's like, no, you still gotta eat good. No, you still gotta eat fruits and vegetables. You just gotta eat more, and that is hard sometimes. A lot of these girls, their appetite is not even there yet. So for me, it takes, in my opinion, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks of you strength training, and then your appetite is like gonna get bigger because you have more muscle and you're gonna be hungrier to feed the muscle.
Makes a lot of sense. All right, we're gonna go to commercial break. And when we get back, we're gonna have some more questions. Like, so this whole time, I thought your name was Reese. So I think I remember I told you that. So I keep wanting to call you Reese. So I'm like, no, your name is Ashley. Well, we're gonna come back and we're gonna keep asking Ashley some more questions. But this is Flex Talk Podcast for the Flexlanta family.
Check. Mankind, check. Yo, I've been told I was a fool since a little kid. High school, I was hanging out with the cool kids. This is way back when I ain't know what cool meant. Hammer and some loose screws chilled in my toolkit. Clever really, was never really a school kid. True shit, I'm not sure how old I was when the rules hit. Hank Aaron calling a shot, playing baseball, 8-ball in the side pocket with the pool stick. My mama told me I was such a fool. I went to war, I came back like another dude. You know how it feels to feel like another you, huh? Reminiscing about flying, running through the fire, escaping the Messiah on 100 proof, running shoot. Gunning true was the move, too big was the shoes. Trying to stay alive was the move. I was a fucking fool, like what you fighting for? This can't be real, this can't be life at all. And this is what they try to call a righteous cause? I should've spiked the ball, I was a fucking fool.
You're listening to Flex Talk, a Banana Pudding Productions podcast. For more information, please visit flexlanta.com.
Cross my heart and hope to die. Confess my love, got no reply. No surprise party, I survived hardly. I surmise I was partly insane, thinking a uniform and fighting in the army would change how I was recognized. Guess it was foolish that I expected a better life. Just cause I fought for it, just cause I bled it for all the people I lost for it. I paid the cost for it. It's Black History Month, I'm trying to march forward. Forward march in the dark forest. I got the heart for it.
Alright guys, it's Ashley again. My Instagram is @Reese, REEESE with 2 underscores.
Alright, and we're back with the Flex Talk Podcast. About to ask her a few questions about how she feels about social media, because if you guys have listened to our podcast before, you know most of us have a love-hate relationship, because most of us are entrepreneurs, so we know it's good to have. We know it's good to utilize the right way, but at the same time, we know it's all smoke and mirrors and illusions, and you just got to deal with it. But it's all good. So I kind of want to see what how Ashley feels about like the importance of social media because even I think even if you don't have a business and you just have a personal page, I think at that point you also have a personal brand. Because you're being picky and selective on what you post. Mm-hmm. Your captions are picky and selective. So at that point, you're upholding an image. Yeah. And I feel like if you're doing that, then you have a brand. So how do you feel about businesses and entrepreneurs not having a social media? Are they really missing out, or do you just have to, do your blueprint to really be out in the streets? Like, how important is social media to an entrepreneur?
I would say it is important. I have the same love-hate relationship with Instagram. It's good because when you want to find something, you go on Instagram. Like, when you want to find a new restaurant, when you want to find a gym to go to, like, I'm Instagram queen. That's how I find everything. But I don't like it because, like you said, with the smoke and mirrors, you see the best 20% of someone's life, and you don't see the 80% of the struggle. So it's really hard as an entrepreneur to see like people in your same field, and you're like, dang, how'd she do this already? She's only been doing it for 2 years, and it's like maybe she was only on Instagram for 2 years. You have no idea how long she's actually been in the business.
Yeah.
You could be on day 1 and she's on day 60. So that's one thing I don't like about it. In my opinion, it is kind of necessary because you miss out on a crowd when you don't use it. Like, it's just really good advertisement. Everyone has an Instagram, everyone's on social media. So you want to reach people where they're at. But I do think face-to-face is the best way to go. Like I said, when I was in DC, all my clients were by word of mouth, despite my Instagram. I had my online clients from Instagram, but my in-person were always because someone referred them to me or they went to like a regular class with me and then went to one-on-one training.
So, like using hashtags, how good are you at using hashtags?
I use the same ones. I use the same ones all the time. I know you're supposed to like research and like try new ones, but I just stick with what works and just go with it.
Yeah. For a business that doesn't have one, would you encourage them to make one? Or if they're doing fine, just tell them don't worry about it?
I mean, if you can make one without it affecting how you think about your business and without, comparing yourself to other people, I think go for it. Because it is fun. When you use it the right way and it's like you guys had a big event that went awesome and you have like stories of like clients talking about how much they enjoyed your event. And it's nice as a business owner to look back and kind of see like a timeline of like I look at my old videos like, wow, like I've came a long way, and that's cool to me to have that history. But I would say just be mindful if you've never been on it before. Like someone told me, they were like, you don't need to follow nobody in your profession. And it really hit me. Like, what do you mean? And they're like, because you're going to compare yourself to them. Like, why do you need to follow them? And she's like, that's the only reason you're following them. And I was like, you kind of have a point. Yeah. So now I try, like, unless they're like obviously like my friends and stuff like that, because I do have friends in the field. I try not to follow nobody that's in my profession because I know, and it's not a hate, it's because I know myself. I'm going to compare myself to you, and there's no need to do that. Mm-hmm. And if people can't follow me for the same reason, like, I respect that. Like, I don't want you comparing yourself to me either.
You think it makes people, like, depressed?
Yeah, it definitely...
compare each other in the same profession?
I definitely think it can make you depressed because, like I said, if I'm new to the game, and I see someone who I don't really know when they started, I'm gonna be like, dang, why does she have 5 clients and I can only get 1? But that girl could have been doing this for 3 years, and I've been doing it for 6 months. But Instagram doesn't tell you that because there has been times I looked at pages and I'm like, damn, she's doing so good. But I take the time to research them, and I'll be like, well, damn, she's been in the game for 10 years and I've been in it for 2. So it really could lead to you being sad and being depressed. Like, why am I not here? And just like questioning why you are not further along than someone else.
Anybody want to piggyback off of that?
You wouldn't think that that would like push some people, towards being better trainers or something?
It depends on who you are. I mean, if it pushes you, you're a bomb. Like, for me, though, I definitely am, like, comparison person, and it's one of my faults. And, again, that's why I can't follow people that are in my field sometimes because I will compare myself to them and feel like, why am I not doing what you're doing? And, again, it's not a hate because I'm proud of them for what they're doing. They're dope. But it will cause you to, like, oh, like, dang, why can't I do that? It gets you thinking.
With men and women in your profession? Like, you won't follow men or women? Or is it just women you won't follow?
No, I wouldn't say I won't follow. Let me take it back. It's not that I won't follow anyone in my profession. If I follow someone and I start to see myself comparing, I will unfollow them. Mm-hmm. And again, it's not a hate. I think there's some people I follow that are dope as hell. It was just, I know myself. Like, I will compare myself to you. My confidence, in being brutally honest, my confidence isn't there yet. And that's okay to not follow. And that's okay. Like, I was at BYOB last weekend, and it was like a conference for entrepreneurs, and they were talking about like self-care and self-love, and they brought up Instagram. And one of the people for the panels was Miss USA. And she said how the Miss USA from the year before her unfollowed her. And they actually got in contact, and she was like, why weren't you following me? And she was like, because I saw what you were doing, and I was like, why am I not there? And because I kept comparing myself to you, I had to unfollow you. And I was like, that was so real. That someone who won Miss USA is like being honest, like, I'm comparing myself to you. And the fact that the newer Miss USA was like, no, it's okay. I know, like, I respect what you had to do, and didn't feel no type of way because she got unfollowed. And I feel like that's the best example to me of, like, sometimes you have to do for your self-care. Not everyone is the same. Not everyone has that same self-confidence, you know? So you do what's best for you, like, it, and that's okay to me.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Good. So now I want to go around the table and let our podcast team and Ashley's boyfriend hit her with some questions. I'm gonna let Kelly have the floor first. She's gonna hit you maybe 2 or 3 quick questions. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So Kelly, go ahead. You have the floor.
So, being a woman in the fitness industry and like so-called like the men's fitness industry or the men's world, do you notice like a difference that you have to like prove yourself more, or how do you like feel about that, or trying to like forge your way in the fitness?
I don't think I have to prove myself. I think it's just, as a woman, you have to be confident in the field. So when I first started, I was at Elevate, and I'll never forget, like, I had guys in my class that were like 6'1", and I'm 5'1", looking at them like, you're squatting wrong. And you have to have a lot of confidence to tell someone that's a foot taller than you that they're doing something wrong, and you're looking up at them and like correcting them. But they respect it. You just have to have the confidence for them to do it, because if you do it timid, they're going to blow you off, you know? Because who wouldn't blow off someone that's smaller than them? So for me, it was just like, when I walk into somewhere, your confidence has to be a lot higher than a male's probably would, because you're naturally, you might not be taken serious. Like, I'm 5'1", you know, like, I'm small, like, I look like a small little girl until I start lifting. So, I mean, when I start lifting, I do think I get respected naturally more, because they realize I'm pretty damn strong. But yeah, it's just, you have to just be confident. It's still a men's world. I don't care what no one says. Like, yeah, we have Instagram now, and there's a lot of females out there, and that's amazing. But at the end of the day, all the fitness books, they're still written by men. You know, all the educational material, all the certifications, they're still done by men. So until that changes, it's still a men's world.
What made you get into like fitness and personal training? What made you start that?
I was supposed to be a physical therapist. I went to school for health science. When I graduated, I dealt with a lot of anxiety after school, and I really wasn't looking to go back. So I was going to take a year off and then go back and get my doctorate. During my year off, I realized that I love fitness. And I was like, what's the point of me going to physical therapy school? And physical therapy just wasn't as interesting to me anymore. I just wanted to really be with people, because I knew how hard it was to lose weight. So I wanted to just help people do that. And I just decided not to go back.
And then with anxiety, how do you like get that at all when you're like training, or like when you walk in the gym? How do you like conquer your anxiety?
I would say, when I come to new gyms, in terms of like as a coach, and I'm coaching clients, or I'm coaching a group that has never seen me before, I still struggle with it sometimes. But it goes away a lot faster. And of course, that was like, I went to therapy. It took some time to get there. But it's just a confidence thing. Like, stop overthinking it, Ashley. Like, they trust you, you know, like, you know, if you walk in front of the room, people don't realize like 90% of the class is going to trust you just because you're in the front.
Yeah.
You know, you have a shirt on that says the name of the gym.
Yeah.
And they do. Like, most people that I've encountered in the gym, they're truly nice. Like, I really haven't encountered, like, jerks, you know, that come to group fitness classes. Like, you're coming to class because you don't know nothing and you want someone to help you.
Yeah.
So, again, it's really all about the confidence and just walking in like, yeah, like, I'm the coach. And they listen, you know, and they're nice.
Cool.
Being that you said you were overweight like in school, so how do you feel like about BMI and...
BMI is bullshit. Excuse my French, but yeah. So the BMI is basically based on your height and your weight, and for me, I was like obese according to the BMI at the time, you know.
Right.
And it's not for people of my height, because at the end of the day, I have a lot of muscle mass for someone that's 5'1". I weigh 142 pounds. If I do my BMI, I'm overweight right now. But someone who has a BMI that's normal, I bet you I could outrun them. I bet you I could outlift them. And that's not to be cocky. It's to show that the BMI is wrong. You know, because if you fit the normal BMI, but let's say you're weak, you know, your bone density is not good, the BMI does not check any of that. It's just a height and a weight. So I really don't like the BMI at all.
So I noticed like a lot of females in the fitness industry, they focus mainly on legs. How do you feel about that?
They focus on the booty.
Yeah.
But I don't like it, to be completely honest. There was a time when I first started training, I used to only do legs. And when I realized, like, damn, like, you can't do arms, like, I could barely do push-ups. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, you can squat $150, but you can't do one push-up. So I had to change my focus. And I do the same thing for my clients. I wish we would get away from that, because I think that's why this industry could never be our world, because we still focus on aesthetics. We still focus on glutes and hamstrings and never talk about trying to get your first pull-up, trying to do a chin-up. So it's like, until we change our focus to the total body as a whole, like, we're still just going to be basically models trying to be fitness instructors, you know? Mm-hmm. That's just where it's going to come down to.
Do you feel like females do that to shy away from the, you know, you get some people saying you look like a man or things like that? You think that's like the main reason? I
definitely think it's why I did it, to be perfectly honest. I naturally, when I lift, my traps and my shoulders swell up, because that's just how it was built. And for a long time, I hated it. Now I'm over it. I'm like, whatever. I have had men say, like, oh, don't mess with her, or stuff about my arms while I'm walking down the street. And it used to really bother me. Like, I used to, like, I would never work arms. Like, I would do push-ups maybe. But now I'm like, screw it. You know, I have strong arms. I actually like my definition in my arms now, which I never thought I would come to, because I'd be like, ooh, see a little cut. But, yeah, it's all about, like, confidence and just being confident in who you are, your image. My muscles in my shoulders develop more. And it did help, though, when, like, females would be like, oh, like, your shoulders are really defined. And I would be like, huh? Like, you like that? And that helped. So, like, I would say, like, as a woman, just complimenting another woman on something that's not below, like, the waistline, you know, it will make them be like, oh, okay, like, this is acceptable. And I think that's what I had to realize, like, it's acceptable to have defined shoulders as a female, to have a defined collarbone, to have cuts in your biceps and your triceps. Like, who cares, you know? But naturally, the level that someone would have to lift at to truly have a physique of a man is way more than people think.
And steroids. I don't think
yeah, like
you can't, like, a woman can't physically look like a man no matter how, unless they're training like 100 pounds a day. Like, you're gonna have to need that testosterone to look like a man. Other than that, like, you just talking shit.
That's true. Your body naturally produces estrogen. Like, you know, you can't look like a man from lifting weights.
That's a good question.
Oh, sorry, I guess it's mine.
You know everything. Hi.
Yeah, we talk every day. We're trying to figure out. All right. I guess we'll get a little oh my god. We're going. I'm just gonna ask you this one question. All right. So, being a black woman in this fitness industry, getting more people involved, like, meaning in our culture, meaning like African American culture. I'm talking about young black men, young black women. You know, our age group is in the 20s. What do? We go out, party, drink. Majority of the time, I mean, you know, when we go through our Instagram, sometimes we'll see some of our friends. You know, they'll be out, and then they'll start to, you know, they got a little pudge here and there. You know. But then eventually they're going to want to get into this fitness industry. How do you reach those people before it's too late? Before, like, they get older and everything starts to slow down, metabolism starts to slow down. Basically.
I would actually say that is literally exactly why I started my fitness program. So I started them when I was in college. When I first started training, I was charging really cheap. And I was just, like, coaching, like, my classmates from college and stuff. And I remember when I started to raise my prices, because I finally got certified, they couldn't afford me anymore. And I was like, well, damn, like, how do I get to you? How do I reach you? What do I do? And that's why I created my online program, because it's a basic program, like it's in general for weight loss, but it's enough for someone who's, you don't have diabetes, you don't have high cholesterol, you know, you're just an average 21 to 25-year-old that's just a little overweight and you just need a kick in the butt, you know? So, but for that age group, it is hard, because you already know, like, I'll watch Instagram sometimes. I'm like, damn, like, why am I at home? Why are you out? But, you know, it's realizing. But then I talk to people who are older than me, and it's like, oh, I was doing this, you know, all my 20s, and now they're dealing with the aftermath. They're dealing with the overweight, and now they got to go to the doctor, and they got to pay copay and all that stuff. So one of my clients that I have that actually is pretty young, I think she's my age. She's 22. And it was so crazy to me, because I was working with her, and she literally said, like, you know, even though this is expensive, and sometimes, like, I second think it, she was like, I always think about you're saving me money in the long run. And to come from someone that was my age, I was like, whoa, like, you know, that's amazing. And I think if I could get everyone to think like that, I don't know if I, like, you know, I post how much insulin costs now, because it's hell of expensive. You know, just get them, just, like, to be real, like, get them, like, this is how much high blood pressure medicine costs. This is how much it costs to get an insulin shot. You know, this is how much it costs every time you go to a doctor because you have diabetes and you have to go more often than everyone else. You know, you're no longer talking about a yearly checkup. We're talking about quarterly assessments, and maybe more depending on how bad whatever you are dealing with. So I think to them, and I'm not one, like, go to the club, have fun, but, like, we're talking about 2 drinks to 10. Like, you know, it's just learning your limits. Like, I still go out, I still drink, but sometimes I don't drink as much. You know, I drink to enjoy and not to get drunk, and that's just how I am. But I think if they understood, like, hey, if you don't stop this behavior that you're doing now, you don't get in the gym, you're looking at a lot more challenges to deal with. And then especially for my ladies, which is a big thing that I don't think they realize, is the more overweight you are, the more issues you're going to have with pregnancy. And I know that's, like, really kind of talking further down the line, but that's something that's, like, really important to me, is that birth is a big part of our lives, and that's how we all came here. And it's like, if you're not healthy now, when you go to have a baby, you're going to have a lot more issues than you think. So it's just, like, getting them to understand that what you're doing now sincerely plays a huge role in what your life looks like later. And I think it's not even, I don't even think it's just 20s. I think it's babies. Like, you know, getting 15-year-olds into sports, getting 12-year-olds to run outside. Like, it's, in my opinion, what is instilled in you from that, like, young age, that 8 to 10 prime age, really influences how active you are. Because if I didn't do sports, I wouldn't be so active right now, you know? It's just, it was instilled in me since I was young.
Yeah, I just wanted to just go off of that women portion. I'm just going to say this one portion and you just run with it. So, hair.
Oh. Get over it. So I wear my hair natural because anything else don't last in the gym. It sucks sometimes. I do want my blowout and stuff. I don't know. It's just getting over it. It's confidence. It's letting it go. I mean, you were with me the other day. This little girl and my hair was just like how it looks now. You guys can't see my hair, but it's in a natural bun and my edges just slick back. That's my go-to. And she was like, I love your hair. She must have been like 12. And I was like, huh? I was like, thank you. But I was so confused. But then I looked at her hair and I was like, your hair looks just like mine. And not to go too deep, but it just, like, reminded me that, like, representation matters. Like, this 12-year-old just said, like, she loved my hair. And for the longest, I really was like, why would she say that? Like, it wasn't pressed. It wasn't laid. I was like, huh? But then it was just like, oh, okay. Because you have thick, curly hair like me, and you're looking at an older girl who's still wearing it that same way. So, I mean, I would say just get over it. There's cute styles you could do, though. Braids. I don't wear weaves anymore. I've seen people with weaves in the gym. I think that's harder to maintain, but they do what they do. I'm lazy. So I just bun it out every day. And get your hair done on your off days, on your rest days.
That's it for me.
That was good. To piggyback on what Diamond was saying about doing upper body work versus just focus on the legs, I think that separates. Like, I take you way more serious if you have upper body strength and muscle rather than just having a nice butt. Like, that's cool and all, you know what I mean? But if you can't do any pull-ups or any push-ups, like, do you even lift? Do you even work out? And that's, but I mean, I respect it, you know what I mean? Whatever sells, you know, whatever makes you happy, you know, that's cool. But I feel like when it gets down to really lifting weights, like, you gotta focus on upper body. You gotta focus on, and I'm not saying get super swole. But you gotta be strong, because the older you get, obviously the weaker your muscles get. So, yeah, when you get old, those legs are gonna hold you up, but you won't be able to pick up nothing if you're not lifting weights now. So, I think it is key, and the shoulder muscles, like, that's never been like a problem. Like, I've never looked at a girl that had shoulders and arms and be like, oh, she'll probably beat me up. Like, I mean, that doesn't even cross my mind. It's just like, okay, she works out. She takes what she does seriously. So I try to work with a lot of people who have upper body strength and muscle, because, you know, that's, like I said, that's how you want to represent yourself. And it's a good look, and it just shows that you're not in the gym just to be cute. Like, you're in there putting in work. And so I definitely like that. But we're going to go to another break. We'll probably get back on at like 12:05. It's 11:53 right now. Still waiting for Albany to get here. She's just getting out of church, so we're not going to rush her. But this is Flex Talk Podcast right here on Flexlanta.com. All right, we'll be right back.
Check, yeah. Mankind. Jean-Luc Picard. Star trekking. Star hopping. So groovy, baby. Austin Powers, starring Shrek. Yeah. Check. Jean-Luc Picard. Yo, I'm Star trekking, star hopping. I'm groovy, baby. Austin Powers starring Shrek. Falling down the steps, bombing. Drinking on a Molotov cocktail. Shots contact to the head like Bernard Hopkins. On his back, just star watching, stargazing, but not knowing he gon' make it through this round. Sitting on the canvas with his fist down like this is just the 6th round. Get up, it's just a hiccup. He moved diagonal, he just a bishop. Don't let him night you. You take the L, move side to side. Be like a rook, back and forth like a crook. I'm in your corner, this match is yours, strike the book. Fight like Iron Michael Vick, Pitbull versus a dying breed of Siamese. Bring that fire, ignite the ring. God, that'll be a sight to see.
Gotta know when you're trying to align your goals. They gon' tell you to find your own.
You're listening to Flex Talk, a Banana Pudding Productions podcast. For more information, please visit flexlanta.com.
Look, yeah. And where your mind and inspired to go. The white folks don't obstacles. You ask me where, and the answer is I don't know.
Let's take a trip with no destination. Reservations to take a lift. This the levitation. The respiration's my medication. Soulful activation. Gravitating to even greater lengths of education. My dedication is heavy lifting. Y'all featherweighting.
Flex Talk, Flexlanta's podcast. We now have Albany in the building.
What's up?
She just got out of church. How was church?
Church was good.
What'd you learn? What'd you pull from it today?
Oh man, the biggest thing is like when it comes to your emotions, like listening, and you never listen to your emotions because emotions change. So you don't want to make permanent decisions based off of temporary feelings. That was good. That's what I got right there.
I like that.
That's it.
You go to church every Sunday?
I do.
Yeah. What
every
church?
Sunday.
Want to give them a shout out?
Oasis Paulding or Oasis Atlanta. We got the best pastor in the entire world. I freaking love my pastor. He's great. So. An OP.
An OP. So, this is Flex Talk Podcast. We like to interview entrepreneurs throughout Atlanta and soon throughout the country, and then after that in other countries. So, I want you to go ahead and introduce like who you are, tell them where you're from, what you do, your Instagram, websites, YouTube. Just promote yourself for like good
Oh my gosh.
5 minutes. Just talk about yourself, put it all out there, and then we got some good questions for you.
All right, so basically, well, my name's Albany. I'm from Seattle, Washington. My Instagram is MissFit_Alb, MISSFIT_Alb. What I do is basically just like fitness influencing and just basically inspiring people to understand that fitness is not just fitness. Like, oh, I'm not going to just go to the gym. Fitness is a lifestyle, so it's important to understand that it's physical, mental, and spiritual. Everything that you do has to involve, obviously, your body and taking care of your body because it takes care of you. Your mentality, you can't, expect to be in like this cloud of a mental just space and expect, to perform every day the way that you should. And spiritual, whatever that means for you, obviously, I just got back from church, so spiritual comes from a different aspect for me. YouTube, I'm working on my YouTube right now, so I'm actually not going to shout that out because like I'm doing some remodeling in that area. Yeah. That's me.
You a trainer? Personal trainer?
Oh, so I'm a kickboxing trainer. So I kickbox train. I used to personal train. You look so familiar now that I'm staring at you. So I'm a kickboxing trainer. I train at 9 Round West Cobb. Shout out to 9 Round. Absolutely love it there. Which I hope to, obviously I'm not going to be there forever. Personal train for a little bit before that, and I'm actually training for my first fight in September, which now everybody hearing that's like out there because I haven't made that announcement yet. September.
You made the announcement.
Yes, I just made that announcement. It has not been something I've shared yet, but I have the best coach, Mustafa, boxing trainer. Absolutely amazing. So.
Awesome. How did you learn about Flexlanta? Like, where'd you find out about it?
So Flexlanta, I actually used to work at a gym in Austell called Aspire Fitness, and you yourself would come in all the time wearing Flexlanta gear. I'm like, what's this? Like, what is that? So it's actually interesting because right about this time, I packed all my stuff up and moved to Seattle, and that's when I decided to start my whole brand of, basically Fit and Fab with All, which is what I basically title myself as. Everybody's like, oh my god, All. I'm like, yeah, that's not my name, but that's fine. That's good, whatever. You sent me some stuff and kind of reached out to me about wanting to be a part of Flexlanta, understanding kind of your brand is similar to mine. It's not just fitness, self-love. It's all about loving yourself and what you do and all that good stuff.
All right. So you're from Seattle originally?
Or? I am originally from Seattle, Washington. Yeah. Shout out to the West Coast. It's the best coast.
How do you like Seattle compared to Atlanta?
So when you look at Seattle compared to Atlanta, there's no comparison whatsoever. It's just the people on the West compared to the people in the South is just different. Like, people are so much more liberal and so more free to just living life. People in the South are so caught up in like focusing on what other people think and just so self-absorbed. It's just different. So I really like it.
So you like the heat or you like the cold?
Okay, so everybody knows I hate to be, like, I cannot stand to be cold. That is my biggest pet peeve. But I don't like Atlanta. I like Seattle, even though it like rains all the time and it's cold, and that's probably the part that I hate the most. But weather-wise, I would love Georgia, but other than that, nothing else.
Yeah. How long you been practicing or training for boxing?
So I started kickboxing training August of last year is when I left personal training and started actually kickboxing training. Then I kind of like have been behind the pads and doing all that work for so long that like I kind of wanted just a different aspect of it. And I was like, something about this. Like, I know the way I train, like, I'm a built athlete. I played tennis before. I ran. Like, I'm just an athlete. And I was like, you know what? Let's try this out. And I love it. I'm very aggressive. My coach is always like, Albany, chill. Why are you so angry? So I think it's good for me. It'll be a fun experience to see exactly how that goes. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there.
Yes. In the house. It's actually in Georgia. My team is actually down in Punta Gorda, Florida right now fighting. So good luck to them.
Yeah, are you a boxing fan? Like, before you got to training, or did you watch boxing on TV and stuff?
Surprisingly, like, no. My sport is football. 110%. Go Seahawks. I'm a football fan. But once I started training, I like started really watching fights and getting into it and being like, oh, this shit's fine. Shit's fun.
You have a favorite fighter?
Okay, so this is also something I've noticed when it comes to boxing. Boxing is like hard to find like women like known fighters. Like boxing is all with the guys, and honestly, just because he just won his heavyweight fight and is just now the guy who's like, oh my god, Mexican first heavyweight fighter, Andrew Ruiz, and nobody wanted him to win, nobody expected him to win. That's my dog. You don't know it yet. That's my dog. You hear this? That's my dog.
What do you like the most about boxing? Like, is it the you punching, you moving around, you getting punched? Like, what is it that you just like get excited about? I mean, no, I know some people who just like to get hit. You know what I mean?
No, I don't like to get hit, and that's the fun. You know, the thing that I've struggled with the most is the fact that like, not to like sound that way, but the fact that I'm attractive. A lot of people, everybody who walks in the gym that I train at is like, you're gonna fight? Good. That's the most frustrating thing that I deal with is the fact that everybody's like, girls, like, pretty girls don't fight. And I'm like, where does that even come from? Like, who came up with that? Like, why is that a thing? So no, I don't like to get hit. That shit hurts. Like, it does not feel good. So I don't like it. But the part that I like the most is the fact that you just get to take out that aggression. Like, life is hard. Life is hard, and I feel like a lot of people don't have a way to find an outlet to a lot of things that they do, so people aren't really aware of ways to get out that anger, and that's mine. It's just like, man, some days I'll be so mad, I'll just be like, oh, I need to hit something. So I love it for the aspect of just hitting, and obviously the workout's great, and all of it. It's a mental game, too. Like, a lot of people think it's just about, oh, hit them, get hit back. It does not work that way. Boxing is a chess match. It's about who's smarter. It's not really about who can throw the hardest punch.
Don't trust me. I tried to box Will one time for 5 minutes, and it was the worst 5 minutes of my life.
Oh my gosh! When I used to train with him, if he's watching this, if you hear this, that shit sucks. He hit me in the stomach once, and I was like,
If you guys don't know, Will is our boxing trainer, Cali Beach Bodies, and he's a real deal. Like, he's real deal. Just punching. He'll punch me. He'll punch her. He's gonna punch anybody.
He won't punch me. He's punched me like 3 times.
But he's a good trainer. But he's like, he doesn't get tired. He's only like 5'1", 5'2".
Yeah, he's
really small guy. But he's like, you know, he'll run with you the whole 5 minutes, and he's really good at it. So I trained with him a couple times. Haven't been back. Just that's just exactly. Like, I'm an athlete, but that's just like tennis and swimming. Like, those aren't my sports. You know what I mean? Boxing just wasn't my thing at the time. I want to get back to it, like real deal 5-minute rounds, but yeah, I'm not mentally.
Who going for 5 minutes? 5 minutes.
5 minutes. It's a long time. 5
minutes is a long freaking time. We did a defensive drill actually, like me and my coach and some of the guys that are on the team, where I just had to hit them. Like, that was it. They played defense, and I just hit them, and they couldn't hit me back.
Oh,
that 3 minutes? Yeah, you think it's nice. That 3 minutes is the longest, and I'm like over here gasping for air. Defense is the most important part in boxing. Like, it's so important to be able to defend yourself properly, because that'll get your other opponent tired. Once they're tired, you're good.
You're good.
Knock their ass out.
Did y'all do any drills where you do get hit, so at least you know how to get hit?
So my coach is bringing in some girls, because like, I'm on a team of all boys, so they're not gonna hit me. They're not gonna hit me. But he's getting ready to bring in some girls so I can start sparring and getting ready. He wants everybody that I work with to be better than me, though, just for the fact of, if they're better than you, you take something away from it. You can't be fighting people that are your level or below you, because you're not learning anything. At that point, you think you're doing something good, and you're not, because you're beating them up. Obviously, they're just not at your level. So.
You looking forward to them bringing in the girls? I'm
nervous. I was actually thinking about that today before church. I was like, dang, like, I think I'm most nervous about the fact that I have a nose ring, and that has to come out. And I'm like, dang, I just suffered the whole pain of like having it and like whatever. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see other girls. They're obviously gonna think that they're at an advantage, because, like, not to sound bad, but like, there's not very like cutesy, like, I'm obviously like super girly, so when they first see me, they're gonna be like, I'm gonna fight her. I'm gonna whoop this little Tinker Bell Barbie.
But I like that you're girly and kind of like Ashley, like, you guys aren't afraid to work upper body, like, you're not afraid to have shoulders and biceps. So I like that too. That's good.
Yeah. So it'll be fun.
Let's see. You're in school? Are you graduated already?
No, I'm in school. So I go to KSU. I'm a biochem major with a minor in sports management and Spanish. So, like, my course load is so heavy. Everybody's like, especially this summer, I took summer classes, which was so dumb. Like, nobody was like, hey, Albany, like, are you sure you want to take summer classes? No. Nobody put any objections. So I did it, but now it's like when I'm not at work or I'm not in the gym or I'm not training, I'm doing homework. Like, all the time. So, yeah, I'm supposed to graduate. I'm class of 2021. Yeah, so I'm a junior now. But I'm kind of ahead, so if I take summer classes this time and next time, I should be class of 2020, which is the goal because I'm a med student, so I would kind of like it to go along much faster than the whole process is supposed to be.
Yeah. All right. Let's go into a quick break, and we'll come right back. This is Flex Talk, Flexlanta's #1 entrepreneur podcast.
Bruce Wayne and the bat signal. Just hit my line, baby, it's that simple. You can text DM or inbox. I be there still in my robe drawers, flip flops. Like, what's the problem? Where you at? Point him out, enough tough talk. I'ma knock tough Tony out. I been itching, plus he don't deserve you, boo. Let me find out this bitch nigga is hurt. I'ma blaze him like Johnny. Wu-Tang Clan, he got a choice, get clapped or get these hands, I been ready. Shit, my heart been heavy. I feel kinda funny cause I never been petty. But fuck it, this nigga gon' learn today. He was fake from the jump, he don't deserve to stay. I be the chef, and this is his eviction notice. We should've did this the last time he did you both.
You're listening to Flex Talk, a Banana Pudding Productions podcast. For more information, please visit flexlanta.com.
When you need someone to talk to and love forgive any man that would assault you. No matter what the distance, I'll be there in an instance. Hello, you have reached Mr. Fix-It. I got them tools, love, I'll be right there.
Yep. All right, we're back. It's Flex Talk, Flexlanta's #1 entrepreneur podcast. We have Albany here. I'm going to let our panel ask her a few questions. I'm going to start with Ashley first. And once we get back, we'll go into open discussion. But Ashley, go ahead and ask Albany some questions.
My first question, I guess, as a female, what do you feel like we have to do to like be taken more serious in the fitness world?
Oh my goodness, that is my biggest struggle. Like, no lie, like being just the simple fact that we are women in the fitness industry. Guys naturally bulk up and they get super big and they have these super hot bodies, six pack, all that good stuff. And it's just like women be like, oh my gosh, like they want to train with them because they're like, yeah, but girls, like, and then we get judged for showing our bodies. I show my body, I show my butt, I show everything, and I don't care, but I feel like it's super important for us to understand that we have to go the extra mile in fitness because guys are so dominant in that area. They're like natural born, like athlete. Well, some of them I've met some. The guys that I train are so unathletic, and I'm like, why are your knees so far above your toes when you're doing the squat? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's so frustrating. I hope any guys that I train watching this, I'm so sorry, not directed towards you. But yeah, so it's just really important for us to just take that leap and be really confident in ourselves and really confident in our bodies. But that's just for us in life in general. We will always have to go much further than males in anything that we do. Especially the fact that I'm in science. Like, that's my major. I get to every class, 3 girls, the rest are guys. It's just something you have to get used to. So.
And you said you're a biomedical? Maybe?
I'm biochem.
Biochem. Okay, so what's your end goal? Like, what's your career goals?
Oh my goodness. This has been a question that so many people have asked me lately, and I don't really know how to answer it. Because when I started college, I went in, okay, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to med school. That's plan A. That's it. But now it's like, I don't know. Because fitness has taken over my life in so many aspects. It's like, I don't think my purpose, and that's why, like, I'm so religious in, like, everything that I do. Like, I pray about it all the time because I don't know if going into the medical field is exactly what God wants me to do now. Like, you know, when you grow up, you have this huge idea. It's like, yes, I'm I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, and this is the way it's supposed to be. But then you get into college and you're exposed to so many different things. You're like, I don't really know if this is what I want to do anymore. So I don't know. I definitely know I'm finishing my degree. I'm too far along. Like, hey, I'm going to change my major. No, I'm gonna be a bio major. Whether it's using that to like, it's going to be something in health. It has to be, just because I've already put in too much time for it not to be. But I don't think I'm going to go as far as medical school, which was like my original plan.
Okay.
We'll see.
So if you don't become a doctor, what would you do? Like, just guessing, because I know you're not sure.
Yeah.
Like,
so if I was dreaming big, like, just throwing it out there, my biggest dream is to open a sports complex. Okay. I love to train and I love being involved in fitness. I think it's super important for everybody. But I don't want to train like people that just want to lose weight. Like that is the worst. Like that is just the worst thing to train, because once people lose the weight, they're no longer interested in training. They're just like, oh, okay, well, bye, thanks. That's all I have for you. And I'm like, well, it's not over yet. You gotta like what I'm doing. So I want to train athletes. I love being around athletes. You know, I've obviously dated athletes my entire life. Like that, being around them. My dad was an athlete. So it's just something that I couldn't imagine not having a part of my life. So I want like a sports complex with like turf, weight training, like all that good stuff. But I want it to be where like high school football teams come during the summer and, you know, do their training there, or basketball players come and do drills. But I want to have trainers that kind of like where you used to work. I want to have trainers that work for me. Just pay me rent, charge them whatever you want to charge them. I don't care what you do. But I don't necessarily think I want to train in it anymore. So we'll see.
all right, cool.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Just athletes only.
Athletes only. I cannot. That is my dream. Like once I'm done where I'm at now, like obviously I train people that are in the aspect of losing weight. The kickboxing job that I do is 30 minutes, and it's along the aspect of losing weight. And taking boxing on like as a sport, I've learned that it is not the same. Boxing for accuracy and precision, and then boxing for weight loss is completely different. Like absolutely different. So that's all, I guess.
So when you went to college, did you ever face like, you know, freshman 15 or gaining weight? Like,
girl, no. I was so depressed. My freshman year was the worst year of my entire life. Like, no lie. My freshman year, I lost myself, and I think that I used fitness to find myself again. I was so quick to be done with high school, so quick to move out. I was like, Dad, I'm leaving. Screw you and all this. I'm done. And then now it's like, I absolutely miss every little part of it. Freshman year was just terrible. Like, learning how to, like, adult. It was like, hey, you have bills to pay now. Hey, you need to do this by yourself. Hey, you gotta cook. Hey, you gotta eat. It's like, I just didn't realize that life consisted of all these different things. It's just like actually finding who you're supposed to be, and you realize that a lot of people that you're friends with in high school, they don't come with you to the next step. And that's something that I've like had to learn, is that not everybody that is in your life is supposed to come with you to your next season. And I feel like we always want to take people with us because they were there before. It's like sometimes you just can't come with me. I'm going places and you're not invited. Sometimes that's just how it gotta be.
I don't know. I just lost it.
You said what?
I said I had another question and I lost it. So I saw you like just like signed or with Team Torch. So what are you like gonna do with that?
Yes, Team Torch. Shout out to Torch Fitness and shout out to the W Hotels. Yeah. So basically, I'm actually not sure. I haven't received my contract from them, so I'm not exactly sure on how much I can say. But basically the way it works is Team Torch partners with hotels and apartment complexes, and they run fitness classes all over the country. So I would be the face of Team Torch, like doing their fitness ambassador, basically going to different meetings, going to different things, and kind of just putting my 2 cents into how I feel about the way fitness classes are ran, how exactly the W hotels can be involved, and all that. So I think that's as much as I can say, because I don't know my disclosure. Yeah, but it's awesome. It's kind of cool to see like that aspect. I actually work with Team Torch in one of their apartment complex, and I teach a class on Monday nights, 7:30, up in Woodstock. And it's kind of cool just because, you know, people in an apartment complex, they have the gym there. They don't know what to do with it. They go sit on the treadmill or go sit on the elliptical. I'm like, use the weights. use your body. You don't even need that. Like, do something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool that they're allowing, you know, their residents to have that freedom to come check out the classes.
Mm-hmm. And you said another part of your major was Spanish. What are you doing
Spanish
with that?
and sports med.
Okay.
So Spanish is just important because if you're not bilingual, life is hard.
Yeah.
Everybody speaks Spanish, you know, being that everybody, you know, everyone coming to this country is so diverse. It's important to be able to communicate with everybody that you come in contact with, or then you have that language barrier. And it does provide like a huge problem if you can't communicate with everybody that you're around. And Spanish is a very big part of our culture. And then sports management, I don't know. But like I said, I know that I want to do something else. So I just wanted to dot my I's and cross my T's to make sure that like if my whole medical degree doesn't work out, I have a sports management degree, which is actually really interesting. That course and everything that I've been taking in that area is like, oh, I didn't know there was all of this to sports management, but there's like a lot and they make good money. So.
Yeah, there you go.
So I mean, the money's there.
Yeah.
So that's always cool.
Oh, okay. So being that you're a student, you're doing training, and then you're training.
More.
So what advice would you give to entrepreneurs about time management?
Time management. That is the worst. E.T., I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Eric Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
He is I listen to him all the time. It's just a matter of understanding that sleep is not a priority when you're trying to make it happen. It's not. You work your 9 to 5 and that money pays the bills. Your 6 to whatever happens after that, that's what creates your dream. You cannot expect to put in a few hours here, a few hours there, and expect things to just work for you. It doesn't work that way. And I guess I'm in school, so I'm up. My day starts at 4 a.m. and ends at like 1-ish, 2-ish in the morning. So sleep is not my thing. Like, if there was anything that I could get more of, it would be sleep. But you just have to learn and have to have that drive and mindset that this is not going to happen if I don't put in the time, because there's always somebody working harder than you. So if you're not willing to go that extra mile, you can't be mad when that person passes you. And I think that's where, like, I get really angry with myself. Like, if I'm like, okay, Albany, you know you need to get this done. And I'm like, okay, but you're tired. And some days I do. Like, some days I'll be like, okay, frick it, I'm going to sleep. And then I'll wake up and be, like, so upset because I'm like, dang, like, was the sleep really? You're still tired. You still woke up tired. Like, what is the point? You could have just got the extra work over with. So time management is tough. I haven't figured out the key to it. It's just suck it up and do it. And I think that's always been what my parents have instilled in me, is the fact, just suck it up, get it done. It'll pay off in the long run. I get super upset watching my friends over the summer right now, having the time of their life. And I'm just like, I have work at 5 a.m. No, I can't go out and party. And no, I can't go do this. And I'm not drinking until September, so I don't want to go out. That's not fun, because then I have to be sober. I don't want to do that. So it's just, I don't know, girl. If somebody finds the key, let me know. I don't know.
You said you watch heavyweight boxing?
Yeah, I watch all kinds of boxing, but I've recently picked up a really big passion for heavyweight fighters, which is obviously not me. I'm not heavyweight at all.
So, how do you feel about Deontay Wilder?
What do you mean? Like, how do I feel about him, like, as a fighter, as a person?
As a fighter.
As a fighter, I feel as though he's very talented, and I feel as, like, I guess him as a fighter is someone who will learn to become more humble and will learn to, I don't want to say anything that offends anybody, but he's good. He's good, and he's good at what he does.
Okay.
It's all a matter of how you approach the table, you know? Everybody, like, that's one thing I really, really like about Andy Ruiz, is the fact that he's so humble. So humble. Yeah, I feel you, dog. Just go ahead. What's up? Yeah, it's just the fact that he's humble.
Okay, that's
Alright. Your tattoos.
Oh, my tattoos!
Yeah. What do they mean? What do they mean to you? I see you got
nothing!
Nothing!
Oh my god, I hate when people ask me about my tattoos. So, I have 13 tattoos. I have a lighthouse on my ankle with a 13 on it. It was Friday the 13th, and it was $13, and I was hungover, and I thought it would be a good idea, so I got that. Then I have a rose on the other ankle, and it has a 13 on it too. It was a Friday the 13th tattoo. Also, I thought it would be a good idea. Not a good idea. I have a wolf on my finger because I'm a lone wolf. I always stand by that. I do not run with a pack whatsoever. Everyone who's super close to me knows that I am not... I'm not going to say a team player, but I'm very outspoken in how I feel. And, like, if you don't agree with me, I don't care. Like, I just have never been somebody to just be like, I guess that sounds right. Like, I've always had my own opinion, always been super outspoken about how I feel also. Fun fact for a lot of followers and people who don't know me, I have a lot of matching tattoos with people. Oh, the rose on my ankle actually matches with my friend Michaela. We both were being, like, really dumb. Like, I think we ate an edible and, like, just thought it would be a good idea to get tattoos. Not a good idea. I have a crown on my wrist. One of my exes has the king crown, so it's stupid. I have a rose on my hand. I have a thing for roses. My middle name's Rose, I guess, so there's that. I have a hand tattoo, with everybody always is like, why do you have a hand tattoo? Like, don't you know you have to, like, get into the business world? And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware. But this is just, I thought it was cool. It doesn't have any meaning. I have a lion here. One of my other exes has the male lion on my forearm. But he, like, that one's a little different because he, like, he gets on my nerves. Like, but we're really close. Like, at the end of the day, that's my best friend. I'll tear his head off. I hate him, but we're really good friends. And then I have on my, like, forearm here, you can't really see it because my jacket, but it says self-love is the best love. And there's nothing really to explain besides the fact that I love myself a lot, and that will never change. I was my first love. God is always working on me. I'm super religious, so obviously the fact that God is always working on me and will continue to work on me, because there's a lot to work on. I feel like I have another tattoo somewhere. Oh, I have a tiger right here. The eye of the tiger. I was like, wait a second. The eye of the tiger.
Oh, word.
I'm coming for you. Can I curse on here? I'm coming for you, bitches. So that's where my lion comes from. Actually, it's a tiger. Yeah, tiger, lion, wolf.
You got any torso tattoos? Like,
no. So, like, here's another. I want leg tattoos, like. Oh, I have 1998 on my ankle too.
98.
I was born in 98.
Wow.
Shout out to my
young.
Yeah, I'm young. Which is why I love what I do, is the fact that I look at everybody like in the fitness. Oh, now you want to call? See, that's what I was talking about. The fact that I'm in like fitness and I'm so young and I watch where everyone's at right now and I'm like, oh, you're 27. I'm 20. I'm coming for you. You don't even know it. So it's like a lot of people that I work with are always older than me. And I'm like, I'm 20. Like, 20. And I'm a fresh 20. Like, I turned 20 in November. So I'll be 21 in November. So it's like, oh, y'all don't even know
What does your
it.
fake say? You going out to drink?
My face says I'm 23. My face says I'm 23 and 5'7".
Nice.
Both of those things are a lie. I am not 5'7". Yeah, but we look alike. We both have curly hair, nose piercing, and buns. So like, we're both light skinned. We look alike if anybody asks. So yeah.
That's what's up. I know a lot of people. I have some family in the West Coast and been to West Coast a few times. I know a lot of people with your same kind of energy.
With my same energy?
Energy.
West Coast people are dope. That's why I always get to
about the West Coast. That's the thing about the West Coast. That's why always interests me. Like, where does that even come from?
That's what I'm talking about. Like people out here are so different.
I feel like it's that beach life, honestly. Every time I go out to California and I just be on the beach and the energy you get from the water and that sun, it's just the people it's cool. I love disappearing to LA sometimes and just people don't know where I'm at. I just go and just the people out there is just cool. Like, they're not superficial. Everybody's chilling, flip-flops, toes
That's
out.
the word, superficial. Everybody in Atlanta is so superficial. Now, I'm like, obviously, a sucker to the eyelashes, nails, and toes. But like, I don't care how broke I am, my eyelashes will be done. But that's Southern people out here are like super caught up in like, let me be Cardi B, let me be a city girl, let me be all this. And yes, it's hot girl summer, we coming for these niggas. But other than that, like, dang, y'all gotta pipe down, ease up a little bit. Like, stop trying to be something you're not. Like, chill.
You don't really find that out in California, at least not near the beaches and stuff. I don't know about Seattle, never been to Seattle, but you definitely don't find that in California.
Yeah, not at all. People don't care.
Yeah,
people don't care. If my hair is not straightened or done, like, who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? That's the least of my concern today.
Alright. I guess Pac or Snoop?
Tupac or Snoop? Pac all day. What the hell?
Okay.
Where is even the comparison between Tupac or Snoop Dogg?
Hey, there's two different
Oh, well,
sides
I guess that's true.
It's like real cool. Hey, Snoop D-O-double-G. Yeah, you know. And then Pac.
I'm in love with Tupac. Like, if I could marry anybody, it would be Tupac. Like, I have like a serious, like, if I didn't care about my life, I would get Thug Life tattooed.
Nice.
If I did not care about my life, I would totally be tatted up. Thug Life. It's true though. Like, Tupac had a message that like not a lot of. That's another thing. Atlanta rappers are stupid. Like, they are illiterate. No offense to any Atlanta rappers, but they just rapping about booty, money, and shit that they don't have. Like, you broke. You don't get no whatever. That's another story. But definitely Tupac always had a message to give, and like that was my dad's era. So like when I grew up. Like, my sister has a completely different lifestyle than what I had. When I grew up, my dad was trapping. Like, our house was about to be for foreclosure. Like, I was making runs with him up and down the interstate from here to Vegas, back and forth all the time. Big lump sums of money. Like, my dad is like, this is over. Like, he an OG. Like, he's like a dad now. But my dad was a thug. Like, you know, my dad had me right after he got out of prison. So he had me at 48. So my dad's old, 69. My sister and I are 20 years apart. So yeah, like, I was always making those runs with him. Like, I saw what it was like to have to struggle, like to actually hustle. And up and down the interstate, all we would ever listen to is Tupac. So Tupac has a real special, like, connection to me. When I hear his music, I'll be like, I remember them days, like, with my dad, like, having to do those things. And now he with my little sister listening to Baby Shark. I'm like, I didn't get no Baby Shark when I was 3 and we was jamming out to Tupac. I was like, all right. Whatever.
Hey, that's everything for me. That's what's up.
So you're a daddy's girl?
I'm a daddy's girl, 110%. I grew up, it was just my dad and I love my mom, but she's like my best friend. But if it's for my dad, I will talk to my dad some kind of way. I will put my hands on you. I love my dad. Yeah, he was my second love beside myself. My dad's like number one in my life.
What sport did he do?
So my dad was actually a boxer and a heavyweight lifter. So I picked up my love for fitness from my dad. And my dad actually, I mean, like, for boxing, for him, he learned to box in prison, obviously, and took it out to the street. But boxing back then was much, much different than it is today. Like, completely different. So I learned a lot from, like, when my dad comes and watches me practice. He always has his little 2 cents to put in, and I'm like, shut up! Like, I'm not gonna, like, one, I'm a girl. 2, I don't want to do it that way. But that's another thing I've got to learn to listen.
Is he still in Atlanta, or does he live? Okay.
Yeah, no, he retired in Atlanta, so that's why I moved here from Seattle. And he's happily here for as long as he wants to continue being here. Life check. That life. What is that? What you get? That check? I get that check when you decide to roll over. He taking a little long. I'm just kidding. He taking his time. I'm like, you about to be 70, and now I got a little sister. Like, damn. I was hoping to have a Bentley by now.
Oh my god.
Those are good questions. I got a few questions. How do you feel about, like, having a social media page as a entrepreneur and a business person? Is it beneficial? Is it needed? Is it just, if you have it, of course, do good at it, or delete it, or like, how do you feel about it?
Social media is so important. Older people who don't really understand the aspect of social media hate it. And they hate that, our lives are consumed. I was in church today and I looked at my watch and it was like 6 hours and 35 minutes a day of screen time. I was like, damn, that's a lot of screen time. But it's important. How can you expect people to know you, know what you do, if they can't reach you? You know, everybody has social media, whether it's from here to Hong Kong to New York to wherever it is. Everybody, like, I'll see it and I'll be like, Beijing, why does somebody from Beijing follow me? But that's important. Like, people will not know who you are if you don't have social media. You don't exist. And it's like a really, really sad place. Like, it sucks that it's that way, but you can't grow a business without having a functioning and active social media page. It just doesn't work. Because people have got to see what you do. That's why, like, people always ask me, like, you're so comfortable posting certain things on social media. Duh. People want to know, and you'd be surprised at how much people actually relate to you. They're just too afraid to voice their opinion. And that's not me. Like, I'll let you know straight and plain how it is. You don't like it, unfollow. Point blank period. I don't care. So.
Do you pre-plan your posts?
Do I pre-plan my posts? You know, no, but I probably should. Like, I probably should, because sometimes I'll post something and be like, you probably, like, I mean, I don't care. Life's all about balance. When I used to drink, well, I still drink, it's just that period of time, but I'll post, like, going out completely shit-faced. And people will be like, aren't you in fitness? Like, is that, like, not okay? And I'll be like, first off, life is all about balance. Yes, I eat my vegetables. Yes, I go to the gym. Yes, I drink my protein shakes. And yes, I like 5 or 6 shots of tequila. Like, yes, I definitely can throw back shots, and that is what it is. It's all, I don't want to just live a life where it's all that. Like, that's not for me. Some fitness people take that, like, stuff super seriously. I'm just not that person. Like, I obviously believe in living clean, living healthy, but you gotta have fun. Like, you gotta have fun, and I like to get drunk, so that's my fun. That is what it is. And pre-planning, like, my actual post that will, like, show up on my Instagram, I'll be in the gym, and I'll do a workout, and I'll be like, dang, you should have recorded that. So then I go back. So for those of y'all, like, who see my posts, I already completed the workout and then decided, like, dang, you should have recorded that. So then I'm usually on my last set. So, like, I'm learning to, like, pre-plan my workouts. So if I think it's going to be a good one, I do it on my first set, because on the last one, I'm like, and then somebody will walk through the video, oh my god, maybe you were filming. And I'll be like, now I have to do it again. And that's already, like, the 50th time. So that's super frustrating.
How do you feel about, like, a business putting out, well, I guess you're the same. You have one page, right? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about people having, like, multiple pages, like a personal one and a business one?
So I've always thought about that. Like, I've always been like, maybe you should have, like, a personal page. But my personal life is on my fitness account. Like, I feel, just like I just said, I feel like it's important for people to see both sides of it, both spectrums. See, like, yeah, you know, I do this all day and I also do this all day. Like, I don't want to put on this, like, face for social media that people think my life is one way. You know, like, maybe if I had, like, my own gym, then I would have, like, a gym page for, like, just sports posts and stuff like that. But the fact that everything I do is, you know, through myself and through what I do every day, I think it's important for people to see my actual fitness routine. You know, for you to know, I wake up and I go to work just like you. Then I go to the gym. Then I do homework. Then I do this. Then I do this. Because people think, oh, but I work all day. Like, I don't have time to go to the gym. That's not true. That's not true. So I feel like people need to see and people need to know that, like, oh, she's doing all this. There's no excuse why I can't fit in an hour or even 30 minutes at that to get a workout in, you know?
You think it's hard? Like you said, sleep is not that important. Do you think it's hard to be an entrepreneur and have a 9-to-5?
Yes, it's not for everybody. That is not for everybody.
It wasn't for me.
Some people are meant to just have a 9-to-5 lifestyle. And I see posts like that on social media all the time, like how business owners are always, like, pressuring people to quit their 9-to-5 and, you know, and I'm like, no, because some people need that basic structure. Like, one thing I learned as a personal trainer is that personal training money isn't guaranteed. People cancel. Fitness for people isn't a priority. So if something else comes up, fitness is the first thing to go. So as a college student, as someone who has bills that must be paid, but is also trying to work up to be something where I don't have to have that 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 pay, like I said, it pays my bills. Without that, I don't have a guaranteed set of money. Because some days are good, some months are good, then others aren't. And then also, not a lot of people can live that grind, that like lifestyle. It's literally something that's just within you and like in your mentality that this shit has got to work. You know, like there's no other way. Like I have got to do this, not only for myself, but because that's, you know, I'm not just out here trying to live life day by day in a routine schedule. So I think that if you're not ready for what comes with deciding to be an entrepreneur, then don't take that risk. And not everybody supports you. That's another thing that's really, really hard. And I've been single because I've decided to be an entrepreneur. Like nobody like is willing to understand the long nights. No, I cannot hang out right now. Like there are things that I have got to do, and the fact that I've lost a lot of friendships along the fact that I'm a part-time friend. I always say that. I'm a part-time friend. It may sound really, really bad, but if you ever call me, I'll be right there. But you have got to understand, I don't have time to call you. I don't have time to text you. I don't have time to be with you 24/7. But if we make plans, I'll be there. I'm down. But I cannot constantly be like, hey, girl, what you doing? Oh, my God, you want to do this? You want to do this? No, because it's a schedule. My life runs on a schedule. So it's tough. It's definitely tough, and you have to be willing to accept the sacrifices that come with it. And if you can't, then I wouldn't suggest it.
I had to get rid of my 9 to 5. It was just, I don't know. If I want to do something good, I got to be 100% in it. My brain has to be in it. But going to that 9 to 5, it takes you away from it.
Oh, yes.
So
100%.
I had to just leave it. But it's not meant for everybody, because that working for yourself will stress you out. And if you're not mentally strong, like you said, you're going to crash and burn. So having that 9 to 5 is good for some people because it gets their mind away from what they're doing or gives them another community to be in until it's time for them to go back to what they're doing. So
my 9 to 5 lets me focus on, if any of my 9-rounders are watching this, but my 9 to 5 gives me that, like, okay, now I can focus on everybody else's problems and not think about mine. Because they come and they talk about, you know, what's going on in their lives. It's like, oh, you're going through a divorce. Oh, I guess my life's not. Oh, you can't do that. Like, there's just things that listening to other people's problems is sometimes therapeutic in the fact that you learn to appreciate what your life is like. Is like, wow, I don't have this going on right now. Like, it just makes you thankful. And I guess my 9 to 5, I'm looking forward to the day where I don't have to work for them. If I could just be like, I'm out, then I would. But I'm not financially in that place to be like, hey, I quit. Then I'll be like, hey, I don't have a house. Hey, my dog can't eat. So, like you said, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely not. All right, let's go to break, and then we'll come back and have an open discussion. This break will only be like a couple of minutes, though. So, this is Flex Talk, Flexlanta #1 entrepreneur podcast.
Check, yeah. Mankind. Jean-Luc Picard, Star Trekking, Star Hopping, so groovy, baby. Austin Powers, starring Shrek, yeah. Chat, Jean-Luc Picard, yo, I'm Star Trekking, Star Hopping, I'm groovy, baby, Austin Powers, starring Shrek. Falling down the steps, bombing, drinking on a Molotov cocktail, shots contact to the head like Bernard Hopkins. On his back, just star watching, stargazing, but not knowing he gon' make it through this round. Sitting on the canvas with his fist down like this is just the 6th round. Get up, it's just a hiccup. He moved diagonal, he just a bishop. Don't let him night you. You take the L, move side to side, be like a rook, back and forth like a crook. I'm in your corner, this match is yours. Strike the book, fight like Iron Michael Vick, Pitbull versus a dying breed of Siamese. Bring that fire, ignite the ring. God, that'll be a sight to see.
Gotta know when you're trying to align your goals. They gon' tell you to find your own. You ask them where, and the answer is I don't know. I don't know. I don't. So you gotta
Take
know.
a trip. Look, yeah.
Got to know. And where your mind and it's gotta go. The white folks go obstacles. You ask me where, and the answer is I don't know.
Let's take a trip with no destination. Reservations to take a lift. This the levitation. The respirations, my medication. Soulful activation. Gravitating to even greater lengths of education. My dedication is heavy lifting. Y'all featherweighting. Your imagination embraces a better greatness, but it's naked without the basic preservations. Make a break, shake and bake, no hesitation. So to the next dimension, redemption of present glimpses. Wonders you can't understand, come take my hand. See the plan from where I stand, watch me make a man. Lambo to God, bars they can charge us.
All right, we're back. Now it's time for open discussion. Let's talk about the finals. The Raptors are up 3-1. If you don't know what that means, a series is 7 games, and the first team that wins 4 games win the series. And I'm gonna give you the script. So the Warriors, this is their 5th year in a row going to the finals. They've won 3 out of the last 4. LeBron took 1 from them. So this is their 5th year. They're facing against the Raptors, who have never been. And you got to think, Toronto is not just representing a state like Houston's representing Texas and Atlanta's representing Georgia. Toronto is representing a whole country. So the fact that they're going to the finals and they've never been, it's a big deal. It's bigger than just a New York team or a California team. Like, you got a whole country behind you. So I feel like Toronto's up 3-1. The game tomorrow is game 5. And it's in Toronto, and you know Drake's the ambassador, so you know he's finna go stupid wild tomorrow, causing the crowd go crazy. So honestly, I would like to see the Raptors win tomorrow. That'd be pretty cool, just for a basketball fan. But also, I would like to see Golden State win. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Curry can get like 5-6 rings if they keep going, and I think that'd be cool to see. But I'd rather see Toronto win. I don't know if Kawhi's gonna stay if they win. But, I mean, you got a whole country behind you, not just a city or a state. Like, you got a whole country supporting you. So, I'm going to ask you first, like, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow, Game 5 in Toronto?
I hate the Warriors with a passion. Like, I passionately watch them so they lose. But that doesn't really happen too often, so I end up being upset. But, yeah, I'm so happy for the Raptors, for real. 3-1. Like, they honestly have the strongest defense in the NBA. The strongest defense in the NBA. Like, if LeBron was back on the East Coast, he would have some kind of issue with the way that the Raptors are set up right now. Yeah. It's just great, for real. This whole Canada, like, wow, I was about to say Toronto. No, it's the whole Canada.
It's the whole country.
Like that's pretty wild. Like,
and
really
only one team has ever came back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals, and it was actually Cleveland coming back against the Warriors. So now the Warriors are in the same spot that Cleveland was in a few years back. So I don't think if KD comes back tomorrow, I'll be afraid because they might go to Game 7. But then even Game 7's in Toronto, so they got to come back to Toronto. And also, this year is Golden State's last year in their stadium. So the fact that they lost twice in the finals in their own stadium, those could be their last 2 games.
That sucks. Get rid of that. They're ready to get rid of it.
They have to win tomorrow in order to play, I think, Wednesday or Thursday back in Oracle. So basically, Golden State has to win the rest of the games. They can't slip up at all. So the narrative is pretty cool. The storyline is cool. Kawhi Leonard definitely just took that team. Like, they've never been to the final. And now he's took them to the finals and put them up 3-1. You know, of course, with his supporting cast, but DeMar DeRozan didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Lowry wasn't doing it. Chris Bosh didn't do it. So you got this one guy who's only signed for y'all 1 year to take you to the finals. You know what I mean? And against a super team. Like, you have a team. I don't know if you guys are real deal basketball fans, but you got to look at the Warriors. They're literally 5 all-stars on one team. That's ridiculous. You have 5 all-stars on one team. You got every person can shoot a 3. But that also tells you how good LeBron is because they built that team to beat him. The only reason they added KD in is because LeBron just kept coming back. That's why I don't know if I consider him the greatest player. I'm kind of getting off track. I don't know if I can consider LeBron the greatest player because I would just have to really figure out what makes a player great and where you go. Because you can't put rings because then Jordan's not even at the top of the rings. He only has 6. There's some people that have 10, 11 rings. But you have a player as in LeBron who's not only making other players better, he's making teams and organizations better. Like, people are starting their offseason in order to beat him in the playoffs. Like, they don't even care about no other team. It's like, all right, look, we need 5 of y'all to beat this one man. Not even to beat this one man, to stop this one man.
But I think that's how. Well, I know that's how it was with Michael Jordan.
With Jordan too.
Yeah, and I would say that.
This is my cousin, guys, co-host Randy.
How y'all doing? I would say, well, first off, going back to the to Golden State and the Raptors. I think the Raptors, their first franchise player was Vince Carter. So I'm wondering what he's thinking right now and what kind of ambassador he's been.
Yeah.
I don't think that the series is going to be over. I think the Warriors are actually going to come back, and maybe the Raptors end up taking them out. Maybe not, though. I don't know because, like you said, the Warriors, they have too many weapons. Like, I just don't see them not winning more than one game in this series. And then on top of that, to add to the fact that this is their last season in Oakland, and to lose 2 games like that in the finals, I just don't. Yeah, I'll be highly surprised. Even though it's 3-1 now, I'll be highly surprised if they don't come back and at least make a series out of it. But with Michael Jordan, LeBron James is like, I like LeBron James a lot, but I think that for my list, I think that Michael Jordan is probably the greatest
ever player, the greatest player.
I mean, to the extent that we can say that, if we had to just call someone out, Michael Jordan would be mine.
Who would you build a team around? If you could pick Jordan and pick another 4 people, or you start with LeBron and pick another 4 people?
No, I would start with Michael Jordan first, because and it may be a generational thing, I don't know, but it just seems like Michael Jordan was
how old are you?
36.
36, okay.
So it just seems like Michael Jordan was a little bit more of a commander on the field, on the court than LeBron James is, and it seemed like Michael Jordan was much more comfortable with being the franchise guy as opposed to LeBron James, at least has been in the past. I know there were issues with LeBron James and D Wade back in when he was in Miami, and he didn't want, like, Miami brought him in to be the guy, but he didn't want to step up and take that role as being the leader. And I don't know why. And that's why I say maybe a generational thing, because from a skill perspective, he can. Like, LeBron James can go and lead any team anywhere, but his hesitance towards, like, being the guy and taking over games.
What if that's not his role though?
You mean because of his personality?
Well, yeah. What if he's not meant to be a team leader? He's meant to be that person that's gonna get you the points, get you all that, but he's not meant to like he makes his teammates good, but maybe he's not meant to take that last shot. Maybe he's not.
And that could be true. So if that's the case, then that means that teams need to reevaluate why they're picking him in the first place. Because every team he goes to, they're wanting him to be the guy. Like, he's in LA now. LA, they're going to have to turn it around. They had a rough season this year, but everyone is counting on LeBron James to turn the team around. Like how everyone counted on LeBron James to turn the team around in Cleveland. Like, it may not be. Did any of you all watch Game of Thrones?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, so in that storyline, there's one of the main characters. Everyone was pushing for him to be the king, but he didn't want it. Sometimes, though, we have to do what we don't want to do, and that may be LeBron James' situation because he's so good. But Michael Jordan, he excelled in that role, and that's why I would pick him as my greatest. Yeah.
I definitely like what you were saying with a lot of those situations, but I'm trying not to be biased because I am a LeBron fan. I do respect Jordan. I do respect everything that he was doing, but the majority of the things that he was doing and what he was building around was Chicago. He was the Bulls. That he was the face. When you think Chicago, Michael Jordan. You don't even have to talk to a basketball fan. Chicago. They don't even know Derrick Rose. They don't even know who those other people are. Michael Jordan. But when it comes down to LeBron, I feel like in comparison to like the different eras, like what was going on during those times, it was now. Right when LeBron came into the league, he was 18. He was 18 years old. 18 years old, body built like I don't know what. First game in Cleveland, he went off.
Like 25 points.
And just imagine being an 18-year-old kid, you're getting paid all these millions, and the first game, you're already being compared to what was quote unquote the greatest player in the NBA history. Your first game.
And he didn't go to college. He went straight from high school.
Straight.
He went straight from having lunch breaks 2 months. Right. Tip off in the NBA.
Exactly. So it's just like that kind of transition when you're trying to think about that off the court. It's just kind of like him mentally. I don't really think it's that he can't take over that role to actually take over an entire team, because I feel like he can. I really feel like he can. It's just to the point that all the criticism that comes with it. Coming to a city, he came to Cleveland, and I'm in real estate, so it's just kind of like he came to Cleveland, and now Cleveland's economy is booming because they have a championship. Yeah. They have a ring, and he left, and their economy is booming. All like the investors I speak to and things of that sort, they are trying to buy in there because they know Cleveland is blowing up because of one man. So now he's coming over to LA. Obviously, he didn't come over to LA for like no specific reason. It was just like he came to LA because he likes LA. Simple. It's good weather. His kids getting go to good school. This is for Bronny. He is in LA for Bronny. There's a good school over there. Him and Zaire Wade. Yeah, about to play in the same high school. That's about to go off. That's about to be crazy, by the way. But he made this move for his family. Like, he loves Cleveland. At the end of the day, the reason why he came back is to get a ring. But
he did his job.
He did what he had to do. He did what he had to do. He's not. He's chilling. He's really chilling. Like, during the last few games of the season, he was with 2 Chainz making this album. He was basically co-producing this stuff along with, I don't know if you guys have seen like those commercials for his new TV show. With Tim Tebow. LeBron and Tim Tebow. The mile run. I forgot what it's called. It's like.
He's done several TV shows. I know he has one about like called The Barbershop or something.
Exactly. So that basketball is his love, but it's not really his focus right now. So I feel like if he wanted to, he could take it over, just like Jordan. Jordan built his life around basketball. The sneakers, the clothing, his name. He branded his name. So the majority of his money is coming from there, and he had no problem being like, hey, I'm the man. Oh, yeah, y'all looking at me. This, that, and the third. Cool. LeBron just has a different goal, in my opinion. Yeah.
And I know he said for life for like basketball, but maybe he's thinking like, what do I have after basketball? Like, I know he's set for life and stuff, but what if he's like, oh, like I want to do something when I get out and I didn't have a chance? So maybe that's why he's like lining up stuff.
Exactly. Everybody now has a different frame of mind. Like,
basketball's kind of like turned into a gateway for folks. Get into the league and then go do what you want to do after that. I think back then it was just like maybe it might have just been basketball and then you're good.
Yeah, it was just basketball. There wasn't as many platforms available now. I think that's just if you have a platform, just generally speaking, you can build off of that just in general now, whether it's basketball, football, ballet, it don't matter. As long as you have a series of events where it's exposed to a few millions of people, you can turn something into like something greater than that. Yeah. And I think that's what he's doing.
How do y'all feel about Zion coming in the league?
Do you guys know who
Zion is?
I know who he is.
Oh, homie from Duke.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yes. Yes.
How you feel like he's gonna do in the league against grown men?
Oh no. I don't really know all that, but that's like team sports are not my thing. But yeah, but wish him the best of luck. He fine, so if you hear this too, holla at you, girl.
Zion, he's gonna be able to bang with him, but if he doesn't control himself, he's gonna get hurt. And I need to find some.
There's some
I
your chair.
I never want to see somebody get hurt. but that's the main reason why Derrick Rose was at the top of the top of the top. But when you watched him play, if you go back, he was very like, all his movements were just like, he put all of his force onto one leg, then he would jump to the other, and it's just like, when you think about it, it's like, it made sense why you tore your ACL, came back, tore your MCL, and it's just kind of like watching him in that Duke game, and everybody was like, when he tore out those Nikes.
I knew that was him.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just like, oh my God, he's going to hurt himself. Like, seriously
like
hurt himself.
6'8", so he's not gonna be a center in the league. He's got to be like a 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're gonna be a 3, you gotta lose some weight. So he's gonna have to take his athleticism and trim it down, and then still play against grown men who've been in the league for years. Exactly. Because he's not garbage, no, but he's kind of like Dwight Howard. In high school, they played at a Christian school. There's no competition.
There's no
in no Christian school. If you look at his high school tapes, I'm serious. If you look at his high school tapes, he was playing Albany. He was playing, he's 6'8". The person that was guarding him was Albany size. Like,
oh God.
It was
no.
too easy for Zion to get buckets, so of course it's gonna make him look good. You know, you get the steal. You have like, who's gonna get in front of you? And
Yeah,
he goes
that's
to college,
true.
plays for Duke. Coach K's a great coach, but you're still playing average sized people. Now you're going into the league, and now you're gonna have to.
You're gonna be tiny.
You know what I mean? You're gonna have to switch
gonna be
down
tiny.
levels and still play people that are bigger than you and stronger than you and smarter than you. So it's like, I don't know how he's gonna do. I hope he does well, but I feel like he should have maybe played some more in college. I don't know, but he, like I said, he had Coach K. It wasn't like he was just at any college. He was at Duke. You know what I mean? So I don't know how he's gonna go. And if he's the first round pick or if he's number 1 pick, he's going to New Orleans. I just don't know how that's gonna go, because you got Anthony Davis, and you know they're talking about trading him. I don't know.
What year is he in at Duke with?
He said he was a freshman.
Oh, he was a freshman.
But he's going to the draft this year, so he did a one and done.
Oh wow.
He probably should have stayed to learn control, like self-control.
What they do with these kids, because they're eventually going to take the year restriction away and just let anybody try out. But what they're doing with him is just pushing him because he's marketable. They're like he's making money for Duke, yeah, but just imagine what he's going to make for a franchise in the professional league. So they understand that they might be rushing him, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like he could have stayed maybe one more year.
Yeah, but like from the perspective of his family though,
yeah,
like if you're getting offered a good contract,
number one pick, you guaranteed, and you get signing bonuses
and
too.
See, like that financial. I know where you guys are coming from. You're coming from his ability to have longevity in the league and actually do something. But from a financial standpoint, you know, you get it while you can, because you may get hurt, and that may be it. And this makes me think of another question. What do you all think about paying athletes in college?
You shouldn't pay athletes. I think you should pay the schools and let the schools give the athletes money. Paying athletes in college directly, maybe not. But if you can pay the school a set aside amount of money that they're getting from ESPN and whatever, and let the school decide what they want to do with it, that's cool. Because then, if you want to pay the athletes, you got people that, you got the star of a team like a Zion, then you got somebody who walked on. They're not getting the same amount of money. Then there's another problem in its own self. But if you give it to the actual school itself and let them decide what they want to do with it, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. I completely disagree 110% just because I'm I'm a academic scholar. So I hate athletic scholars because y'all got to maintain a 2.0 and play a sport and get paid. I have to maintain a 3.8 to keep my GPA, to keep my scholarship. So I don't like it.
Dan Rose didn't even go to class.
I hate it. I don't like it. I'm like, y'all don't do nothing. And then, they bring in the school the most money. Like, blah, 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 whatever. But, like, damn, a 2.0, my nigga, I could do that in my sleep. I could do that sleeping.
Well, I have two brothers that are, they were both on athletic scholarships. It was really hard for him to maintain that 2.0 in a way because he had commitments that he had to be, at practice and training, other training, so he could be at tip top, shape
Yeah.
and everything. So I understand the 2.0 part, but when
I have zero sympathy. Like
same,
zero.
It's still like, well, that's kind of what you signed up for. So.
Yeah, that's also what I always try to remind myself with like all things though. You know what you was doing when you signed up for this.
You should pay the school, or at least pay that sport. Like if it's the basketball, because not even pay the school, because maybe your swimming team, your tennis team don't produce anything. You know what I mean? No type of income. Like Alabama, nobody knows their basketball team. You know what I mean? You just know Alabama for their football team, unless you just know Alabama. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you hear Alabama, you automatically think of Nick Saban. You know what I mean? So maybe you can pay the actual teams themselves or pay the school, but I don't know about paying the players, because then you open up another door. Like if I'm Zion and then I'm getting paid the same amount as somebody who walked on, I'm gonna be kind of upset. Like I'm way more important than that person.
Well, I imagine with that, the devil will be in the details, because I'm still for paying athletes.
Direct.
But not but not all. Like for instance, like
okay.
I mean, like if you're in a D1 school, and if you're on the D1 football team, let's be serious. Like that 2.0 GPA you're maintaining, you really don't have to maintain that, because all your time is with the football. Period. So like, you have the not the coaches themselves, but you have people associated with the teams that's talking to the teachers, and everyone knows what to do to make sure that the players are able to play. But then what happens when you're out of school? So I think to a certain, like, and these are still kids that are still making these decisions, but they're playing. But if you don't go pro, then what are you gonna do? What was that for?
Yeah.
What was the for? So I'm just saying, like, okay, so you're making money off. You can't use their names. I don't think when you're doing jerseys, but you can use their numbers though, right?
I mean, you buy
like when merchandisers and they sell jerseys. So you can use the numbers. Then you got the television deals with these big schools, and then you have the gate attendance. I mean, that's a lot of money.
No, you can use the names, but I think you have to go to their
with
campus.
the college players.
I think you have to go to the campus to buy with their names, because I've seen people.
Oh, really? You can. Okay, so even more to my point, like in certain situations, I think at the very least we need to look at whether or not they're being treated fairly. If maybe we don't need to pay them, but there shouldn't be an issue where you have some players at a D1 school getting caught stealing what they were stealing radios or something to pay for basic necessities like food and stuff like that. Like that's tacky. I mean, so there's something wrong with that system. But generally speaking, like some of these players, they're not there for school, and everyone understands that they're there to use them on the football field to bring in those dollars.
And keep it that way. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And these are not academics.
Which is so frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, shit, but Rose got in trouble for that over at Memphis. Once they found out, they took away like their wins. They took away a lot of stuff from him when they found out that the teachers were just pushing him from class to class. But I mean, have you ever heard Derrick Rose talk? You ever heard his interviews?
Derrick Rose?
Yeah, you ever heard him talk?
That's how I feel about listening to some athletes. I'm like, you're illiterate.
Yeah,
you're dumb.
Excellent. I mean, besides the injuries, Derrick Rose is a monster. You know what I mean? But if you hear him talk, you just want to turn the TV off. Like, what is this I'm listening to? But yeah, I don't know. So if you think if they pay the if they pay the players, just not pay everybody, just pay the good ones.
I mean, no, not just I wouldn't say it like that. Or I wouldn't do it like that. I would. The determining factor for me would not be how good the player is, as much as how much revenue the school brings in from the sport, how much merchandise they sell, coincided with the performance in the classrooms, and how much time the players are expected to put into their sport. Because like I know with football, and I keep using football as an example because football is the example to use. Like the time it takes to get to the level of skill that you're seeing Saturday mornings on TV at certain schools, like they're practicing. I mean, they're putting in a lot of time. Yeah. And then it's not realistic for them to go to class, and they don't.
Yeah.
But they're not going, but legally that's not supposed to be the case. And so, but the schools are getting by for the most part, unless they get caught. They're getting by with doing this, and then so when the player is done, if you're not in the NFL, then what do you have?
Right.
That's
Exactly.
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
Which is the case for a lot of them, because every football player swear they go into the league, and I'm like,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
you know, like
Come on, man.
it don't really.
Look on
So
that
what's
dream.
your plan B?
That's
Like
how
when
they
I,
grow up.
yeah.
They're grown to feel that way.
That's true.
You know, like because to you, you know, you're the tip top athlete in your neighborhood or
Right.
in your school, you know, in your district. So it's like, of course I'm going to the pro. I'm the best. And
Yeah.
then you get here and then it's just like
There's other the best.
Yeah. And see,
Yeah.
that comes from the parents.
That's true.
Like parents doing that, like that. I forget the name of the documentary, but they were it was focused on Dade County in Miami, and like you say, they start those kids out at Little League, prepping them up, getting their mindset towards getting to the NFL. And that's crazy.
it is. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, and it's sad because even with my brothers, like it's like my older one, we had to break him out of that. Like, okay, football is not the only thing
out there.
in
Like, yeah,
your life. Like, you gotta figure out what you want to do after this. And it took a lot for him to get out of that. It was just like, wow.
I would say I was in that, like with swimming, like people would be like, what are you going to school for? And I was like, swimming. Like, and my dad would laugh. He's like, no, like, what are you going to study? And I already knew I wanted to do graphic design, but I was like, no, I want to go swim. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to class. Like, what's class?
Yeah, I just want to swim.
Yeah, I just want to swim. But then, like, when I got hurt, like, the mentality was like, oh shit,
What
I gotta
now?
do something now.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so, but I would say pay the team, like directly, because like, when I went to my JUCO, we were like the powerhouse. We didn't have a football team. It was like swimming and like a couple other sports. So we were like the powerhouse that brought in the money. But then when I went to a D2 and it was like their first year ever having a swim team, like we didn't have anything. We didn't get anything. Like football was the powerhouse. And we were like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everybody got like pulled from like JUCOs and we're like, well, this sucks. What do we do now? And like, we didn't get like Christmas presents, you know, like when you get like all the gear. We got like shorts and like a cap and like a swimsuit. We're like, go have fun.
Yeah.
And we had to like, I think pay like Speedo or like, what is it, tier, you know, swim brands to like give us suits, or we had to pay for our like technical suits. So like that was like different. So like I feel like paying the sports directly
would help
the team. Yeah.
All right, so now to switch over from sports to entertainment, we have some people that have seen Aladdin, and then we have some people that have seen not Hunger Games. I'm about to say
Hunger
Games with Marvel. Let's talk about Aladdin first. I didn't even know it was out. Like for the people who've seen it, like how do y'all feel about it?
Looks weird to me. I don't
Why?
Oh, man.
I don't know.
But it was really good to me. If you're like a Disney fan and you like the remakes, like Toy Story and all that, I think you're gonna love it. I loved it. I love Disney movies. I like seeing it, like the adult version. That's what I think it is. I like it because when you watch a Disney movie and you're a kid, and then you watch a Disney movie and you're an adult, it's a whole nother experience. Yeah. Like, it gets deep. Like, you understand. You're like, you didn't know they was trying to tell you things about how to live your life. Right. Like, they was trying to low-key motivate you and hit you with certain things. So I love that. I would say watch it.
Great with mind programming.
No. That's not what I was trying to go for.
It's all propaganda.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Where?
But you know what?
Where's the lie?
Where's the lie? It's just like I just was skeptical about whether or not Aladdin lends itself to actually being filmed. That's all. Because I mean, I saw we saw the animated version. You know, it was good. Like I remember Beauty and the Beast. Like me and my sister, we grew up on Beauty and the Beast, and I mean that was a good Disney. But I don't know if I would want to go see the film version of Beauty and the Beast.
It was actually really good.
It
was actually real. Like, so I never wanted to see it. Like, I did not want to see it, but I had a friend who were like watching it, and they were like, "Let's just watch it." And I was like, "I don't want to." It was actually really good.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe we'll see. Maybe with Aladdin.
It's good.
Aladdin was great. All I have to say is Will Smith. That's it. I'm just a Will Smith fan. But
Will Smith is busy this year.
Yeah,
busy this year.
What's he got?
Everything comes out. Will Smith is in
They
it.
got done filming Bad Boys.
Yep. In Atlanta.
Oh.
And he has another movie.
He has another movie where
action.
The Men in Black is coming out again.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes, that's coming out.
I saw the poster.
It's a younger version of him.
I want to see that movie.
Me too.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Have you all seen Jada Pickett's YouTube show?
Her Red Talk Table is
I've seen one of
absolutely.
them.
Did you see the one with Sierra recently?
No.
So good. I would recommend everybody to watch that. It definitely lets you know how to live your life and don't settle for love. Don't settle. Don't settle. Biggest waste is of time. You can't get it back. I'd watch it.
Cool. I mean, I don't know much about it, but hey, the little previews, I'm just like, oh shoot, I'm really talking.
They be spinning.
Oh no, it's deep, yeah.
Yeah, they get into some.
Yeah.
They get deep.
Oh, okay.
They get deep.
Should be on TV, but you know.
It should be. It would
should
do
be.
well. It would do very well.
it will.
It will eventually, I think. It's just kind of something. They're trying out a different aspect of, entertainment, like trying to find different ways of getting out to the public. And people are always on their phone. You can watch it on your phone.
Yeah.
People are always on their phone. It's much easier to pick up your phone and watch it right there real quick than, sit down. I'm not
And
available
tune in
at
a certain time.
6:30. I can't watch it at 6:30. But here you can watch it whenever you want to. Go back and look at it. So I think that's kind of where they're finding that little bit of the difference that will make them so popular. And people love like celebrity stuff that doesn't get shared anywhere else, like the whole Jordan Woods and Kylie Jenner thing. That whole spiel, people love to hear from their point of view. We don't get that from social media. You don't know what people were really going through. So.
How would y'all feel if your pizza from Domino's got delivered on a drone?
Yeah, I don't like pizza.
It'd be cool, like a one-time thing.
That'd be kind of creepy, honestly.
Is it gonna be cold?
Right. Is it gonna be cold? The air
have the
outside.
insulated heater, but kind of
went there because all these ride share like Uber, your Lyft, your 18-wheeler, your pizza drivers, they're gonna get canceled out by self-driving cars. You know what I mean? That's obviously that's real life shit. So I was looking at yesterday about like Domino's are really they're trying to implement your pizza being delivered by a drone, which I think is a cool concept because they have even Amazon has it. They have Amazon Prime, then they have Amazon Air, I think is what it's called, where your packages can just be delivered on your lawn. So I think that's pretty cool. But how do y'all feel about like self-driving cars and what technology is giving us in society these days? Because I'm all for it. Like I understand a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs to robots. That's just what's gonna happen. But at the same time, I'm like interested in seeing what technology is going to give us access to. So like, would y'all get into an Uber that has no driver?
No, never.
Why not though?
Because I don't know what
Anything can happen.
Stories. I don't know
That's
what's
true.
programmed.
Okay,
I don't
not
know.
gonna kidnap me though.
Anything
Maybe.
happen with a person?
You don't know if whoever's behind that.
Okay,
It's
I don't know.
different with a person. Like you can hit them. If the computer just decides to go out of whack, like I'm just screwed and stuck in this car. I don't know.
I'm not for it.
Not for it.
I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it like that car, like, okay, it's being programmed to drive. Okay, cool. Who basically
It
put
teaches
this?
itself.
Oh,
It's got a camera. But no, you gotta look at Tesla. So Tesla, for example, I'm all into this technology.
Okay.
So if you look at Tesla and how they built their cars, they have cameras on each side or whatever. And ever since Tesla's been out, the system in all the Tesla cars have been mapping out every single road that you see a Tesla on.
That's cool.
So like in the center memory of all Teslas, they have all the same map, so they know where the streets are, they know where to turn, and they can see red lights and stuff like that. So it's kind of like self-driving. And the Model S that they're building, they're gonna use that for their robo-taxi, and it's all on their website. And what it is like, let's just say there's a parking lot full of Model S Tesla cars, and what you'll be able to do is soon you'll be able to get on your Tesla app and order a Tesla. And what it does is fucking crazy. What it does is like you got this parking lot with no humans in it, but none but cars, and the car just pulls out of the parking lot and goes to find you and picks you up.
That's cool though.
So it's cool, but at the same time, it's like, how do you do this? You know what I mean? But like you said, it teaches itself. And soon the Model S would be strictly for robo-taxi, and there will be no steering wheel, there will be no pedals, there will be nothing but just seats.
My understanding is, but the satellites is what controls the technology.
Up above, but it controls all of them, right?
Yeah. So basically, the car is just in principle it's the same as the way GPS works.
Yeah.
Like you put in your wherever you want to go, and on your phone, you have Google or iMaps, whatever you're using that's assisting you, but the information is coming from satellite. So same thing with the cars. It's just that now, in addition to seeing where you're going in the car's display, the car's actually moving, but it's all controlled from satellite. Yeah. And the danger in that is that someone can hack in. But planes are planes are flown by computer now anyway. Like the pilots aren't flying; they're just there sitting, looking at the control system and making sure everything is on point. But they're not doing the actual flying anymore. It's all done by computer.
So if you can get in the plane that's flying itself, y'all can get in the car that's driving itself.
And I was thinking too that you all may not be excited about that, but your kids are gonna make you, because they're gonna be doing it. And then there's gonna be a situation where you're gonna be with them and they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about? You're not gonna get in this. You'll go." Yeah. So
I'm all for it. Self-driving cars, and I don't know if you guys. I mean, we're all healthy here. You probably don't go into McDonald's, but I went into McDonald's the other day and they don't have any cash. They have like maybe 2 cash registers, but now you can just order your food on the screen. You know what I mean? They're just getting rid of it all together. Yeah, it's gonna be like, I'll give it like 10 years, and a lot of people will lose their jobs to robots. We're just gonna put like society in a scary place. Absolutely. But I just tell people now, just be prepared for it. Like if your job can be done by a robot, you should be trying
find
to find
something else.
Find something else you can do now, like build onto it. So when the time comes, and if you do lose your job to AI or to whatever technology is out, at least you have something else.
Man, that's so much. That's so much harder to do though than to, because in principle, yeah, you're right. But in terms of people doing that,
people don't act until they don't have a choice.
Yeah, that tends to be the pattern. Yeah, and like as important as this conversation is that we're having, and the people that need to hear it won't get it.
Yeah.
It'll be far time too late once most people understand that their jobs are in jeopardy and they need to do something about it. It'll be
that's always the case.
Targets, your Krogers, your all that shit.
Distributors and things like
that. Yeah.
So I always tell people it's important to become valuable, because if you're not valuable, if you don't have something that sets you apart, boy, you're in danger.
Let's talk about what did we talk about last week? We talked about a little bit of politics, talked about a little bit of conspiracies. Are you guys into conspiracies like flat Earth and controlling the weather? Y'all into that type of stuff? How do you feel about the flat Earth theory? Like, are you?
I mean, okay. I am a person that I do believe the flat Earth theory, only because it's like
that our Earth is flat.
I mean, I entertain it.
You entertain it, that's the word.
Okay, I was about to say, wait a second. I'm a science major, so I'm like the wrong. I don't believe in no like it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't, and it ain't flat.
Okay, so why do you entertain it?
Okay, because it's just simple. It's just like anything could be misproven. You know what I mean? Like, so everybody has their own sense of reality, their own sense of, because you can say, I could say the sky is gray, you could say it's light black or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's
I'm
relative.
not wrong, you're not wrong. You know what I mean? So when it comes to that, it's just like, some people say, they're like, well, okay, you say it's round and we're on here because of gravity. Another person will say, how do you know that's the case? Like
physics.
They're gonna say, who made physics? Like, just because, you know what I mean? That's
Newton's law.
They're gonna say
Newton. I can't talk to people like that because I'll be like, you're stupid. I can't.
I mean, I don't know. I like when people question things. You don't just take what I tell you, like question me.
Right, but like gravity.
Like if you go into I think this flat Earth stuff will go away once people start going, like normal people start going into space and seeing for themselves. Because some things are provable. Like, right now, physics may not be enough to someone to prove that the Earth is round. And I mean, I get that. And then you show them a picture and then someone can say, well, how do you know that's really Earth? Have you been out of space?
Right.
Okay, but at some point we are going to be able to go out of space, and then when we do go out of space, then you can verify for yourself. Oh, you can look for yourself and say, oh, okay, so that's planet Earth. That's where I just flew from. It is round, and then that should be the end of it. I think.
That's true. Some people gotta see it for themselves.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to hear. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I said, like, I think it's cool conspiracies about, like, celebrities and, you know, like, the Illuminati. I think that's cool to, like, hear that and, like, hear, oh, there's another side to it. Or, like, when Nipsey first got shot, like, people were like, oh, it was the government. And I'm like, wait, what? And then, like, Dr. CB and, like, you know, like, I was like, like.
Yeah, now that was what I was kind of like, but... You know what I know is social media is a son of a a liar. Like there is this thing going around on all social media talking about this kid was like found in a river. They took his organs and blah. He was raped in Louisiana and they threw him in the river. Whatever. It's been going around all on social media. The story about this kid, and I'm like, oh dang, that's sad. That's really sucks. I go look it up on the news or like on like Google. Like go to like see where's the news story of this out of. It is it's fake news that people are coming up with. What really happened was basically they took him from one corner to the next, but the one person that they took him to had done the autopsy and had already taken out his organs and done all that before he went to the next place. But the family saw him at the next place and word got out that his organs were missing and that they took his organs out in the and it's like y'all be coming up with whatever. The news is not news. It's entertainment. Yeah. They will tell you whatever you want. You have to look at stuff for yourself. Like, even when that Trump story was going around about that Indian, and this Indian was at a school, and the kids were like, you know, and they made up this
kids were in the face of the Native American, and they were going back.
Wasn't even what happened.
Drums and stuff, yeah.
Was not even what happened. Everybody was saying, oh, you know, like, I mean, I'm not a Trump supporter, but, you know, going ahead and saying that, you know, these kids were doing this, blah, 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 blah. The kids were supporting him. It was like a whole big, like, false thing if you look it up, and I'm like, wow, people just... It's crazy.
And that's unfortunate, man. Because
it's crazy.
You getting to the point now to where, there needs to be a space for accurate information.
Yes.
But anyone now can just put out stuff with Adobe and with editing software, like the video software that you were showing us last week. How you can manipulate someone's body on your phone. These things are not good because it makes it tough. The past elections, for instance. Like, you know, all of these stories that were put out there that was meant to promote this dissension amongst people. I mean, that's how you got Trump elected in the office. And a lot of it was just predicated based on just lies and just false things that weren't true. And then this whole concept of alternative facts. Like, you know, people, supposedly respectable people are promoting this concept of alternative facts. That doesn't help. It's just that, you know, there needs to be space for just true facts so people can make up their own minds.
Yes.
All this stuff with, you know, like there was a video, someone put out a video with, I think it was Nancy Pelosi, and it altered her speech and made her look like she was speaking crazy. And the thing is, like, you know, and just so I'll just state this. Like, I'm not Democrat or Republican. I don't believe in parties.
I agree.
I don't believe in parties.
Because people will tell you have to learn to just, I agree.
Yeah, I don't believe in parties.
I don't like politics.
I believe in, you know, there's a problem. What's the best way to fix it? Okay, but that being said, like, I don't like when stuff that's supposed to be taken as true and that's supposed to be credible is altered. Because now, how can I make my decision?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that. So I think that's dangerous.
I agree.
How do y'all feel about Nipsey's death? Think it was set up?
Let the marathon continue. It was well, you know what? I don't know. I think it was just the fact of Nipsey had a life that he lived outside of, you know, what the public saw.
I don't think the public saw shit before he died. I don't think the public even knew who he was.
Well, no. Well,
yeah,
did you really not?
Most of society did not know who he was.
Really?
I didn't listen to him. I knew him, but I didn't listen to him.
This is like, you don't know who Don Kennedy is unless you live in California. Exactly.
Oh, wow. I mean, I guess that's true.
So I'm here, like, everything we get about Nipsey is through our phones and social media, and the first thing that people pick is that whole Dr. Sebi thing, just because of what he said. If they kill me, ride from me, I don't think it had nothing to do with that.
It was gang related violence. That's what it was. Definitely. Point blank. Period. Everybody knows where. Well, not everybody, obviously. Crenshaw, like where he from, like 6th Avenue, like that area is nowhere to play with. Like if you're not familiar with LA is not all Hollywood. LA, that's the hood. Like they just like every place got their own hood. That is the hood. And at the end of the day, you know, Nipsey was involved in some things that people don't. Nipsey was a nigga. Nipsey, same reason why nigga rappers get shot. You're doing shit you're not supposed to be doing. You end up one way or the other, dead or in jail. Pick yours. You know, it is what it is. And I think that everybody always wants to make it something that it's not. Like, let's put emotion into it. No. And same thing, you know, like, you know, much love for Lauren and all she's going through. But she knew exactly, you know, she knew what he was doing. And it is what it is. So it sucks. But you can't expect to live that life and not have the consequences.
Even if he wasn't doing anything, like you said, like, if you in the hood, you know, stuff happens.
And that's an unfortunate thing, because from everything because like you were saying, I had heard of Nipsey Hussle, but just in passing, but I never listened to his music or anything.
Listen to his lyrics, listen to what he's talking about.
But from everything I read though on him, it seemed like, because he was he did not live a criminal lifestyle. And it seemed like from what everything I read, he was involved in the community in a positive way. However, kind of like to your point, it only takes one person. And I think I wouldn't say gang related, but the person that shot him was affiliated with the gang. Yes. But I think it was more or less, it was something personal between them.
It was personal,
You know what I'm saying? And I think because Nipsey Hussle called him a snitch. And Nipsey Hussle was just a day off. He was meeting with the mayor and some folks in the police department about gang-related issues. But the problem is that, like, you know, when you get around these dusty folks, it only takes one. So
one person to open their mouth and say, she said, "What about me? What did you hear? What did you hear?" That hearsay will get you. You'll be like, "I didn't even say that. It didn't even say, you know."
Yeah, and then another thing about Nipsey Hussle, you all mentioned Dr. Sebi. I think that it's kind of irritating because you know, like, I like conspiracies too; they're fun. But, like, you know, you gotta, I don't know, you gotta be able to just like be able to reason things out to a certain extent. Now, why would Nipsey Hussle be a danger to someone for working on a documentary? Where the information that will be in the documentary is largely out there anyway. I mean, like, you know, to connect Nipsey Hussle to Dr. Sebi and say, oh, well, you know, it's because he was working on Dr. Sebi documentary. I just don't even seem rational when you think about it. So I think people need to. Conspiracies are fun, but, like, you know, and conspiracies do happen, by the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always be open to conspiracies, but you got to know how to just call a spade and say, you know what? It seems like this seems more likely as opposed to this, just because of the facts. It just doesn't.
Until you can prove it.
Until you can prove it.
Yeah. Just to be completely honest, like, first off, I like being on the East Coast and things like that. So I listened to a lot of West Coast rap. So I knew about Nipsey. I listened to his music when he dropped Victory Lap. I was on it. I was on it. So, like, that was my workout music. So when he died, I was like, damn. Real? That's crazy. And I'm gonna be real. When I first heard about it and the way that it happened, I'm gonna be straight up. I thought that this was some conspiracy shit. That's not. Excuse my language. I'm not. And that's the thing. Like, the reasons why I thought it was some conspiracy stuff is because I followed him for such a long period of time. I'm not in the West Coast. I am familiar with, like, those areas of LA and things of that sort, even though I'm not out there, because I do have friends and I do have family out there. But everything that, if you watch any of his interviews, he's very knowledgeable. He knows a lot about a lot. He knows a lot of things about a lot of things, and he was doing so much in the community, just like you were saying. He was doing so much in politics and things of that sort. Like, and when he passed, I don't know if you guys noticed, it didn't matter what type of person it was, what kind of industry, they spoke about him.
Yeah, they were all there.
And it was like comedy, hip hop, politics. Even Gary Vee was his best friend. Like that, it's kind of just like this man was everywhere. Like that's when it was kind of just like, man, this doesn't even make sense. This kind of situation. Of course, in his lyrics, he talks about the streets, this, that, and the third.
You grew up in the streets.
Exactly. It's like you're gonna talk
He's
about
familiar
your experiences. You're gonna talk about that. You could have been an OG or whatever. You're gonna talk about your life because at the end of the day, what person our age or younger wants to hear that you have a stable household and rap? It's just like, oh, my family's good. Oh, I love my kids and I love my.
Yeah, anybody trying to hear that?
Who wants to hear that at the end of the day? So, and honestly, the way that he died, I was just like, wait a minute, this dude got shot.
It was such. I was so in shock.
And once in the head, and I was like, what gangster does that? Like pop, 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 pop. That's a military style. Like,
and another thing that raised questions in my mind. So I don't know who his defense attorney is now, but initially after the murder happened, Chris Darden signed on as his defense attorney. This was the guy that defended
OJ.
No, he was the second in command prosecutor that prosecuted OJ. So it was Marshall Clark, and then it was Chris Darden. So Chris Darden, he initially came on as this guy's defense attorney. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have money to pay someone like that, right? So so stuff like that does make you question. That's why I say, so that's why I'm saying definitely I definitely say stay open to conspiracies because conspiracies happen all the time. But it's just, I guess all I'm saying is make sure you know when to say, okay.
Just know, the limits.
Yeah. There's some questionable things.
There was, and it's just like, what criminal? Okay, it's like they found you a mile away from the scene, and you killed Nipsey Hussle, who
right on his block.
Right on
who
the
doesn't
block.
run away?
And you stayed a mile within it. It just didn't make sense to me. Me personally, it just didn't make sense. Like, listen, I'm not saying I would do anything, but it's just like, if I kill somebody, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not going to even stay in the same city. Like,
but then again,
there's just a lot we don't
think like that. Yeah, that's another thing. Thugs don't think like that.
Where they gonna go?
Exactly.
Where he gonna go? He gonna flee to Belize. He probably don't have a passport.
There you go. Yeah.
Right. Like, it's gonna take some time. The plane just not gonna leave off the ground. Like, there's some time. So.
But I mean, I see where you're coming from, so I knew who Nipsey Hussle was. I didn't know his history and what he did for the community, but I had listened to his music and stuff like that. So when he passed, at first, the conspiracy theory, like you said, the 3 rounds to the chest, to the head, that's a kill shot. Most gang members can't aim. So that was like, what? Yeah, that was just like, I was like, that was the only thing to me. But like you said, like, you keep an open mind until you get the hard facts. So I kept an open mind. But when they brought up the guy and they said, he said he was a snitch and that's why he killed him, I was like, I believe that because that's how thugs think. There ain't no... Yeah. There's no process of killing you. Like, you say something that you did that they didn't like, and it's easy as that. You're done. Yeah. It don't matter who the hell you are. It don't matter if you Nipsey Hussle. The only thing I honestly really didn't like was that all these celebrities took so long to talk about this man. That was my issue, because I was like, well, I wish I knew him when he was alive. I wish I knew not just his music. I wish I knew what he was doing for the community. I feel like we do that a lot as a black community. It's like, he died, man, he was so great. That lasted for as humans. It lasted for a week, and now nobody's talking about him. It's just like, I don't know. To me, it's like, even though I realized he was so great, I'm not about to be on my Instagram like, oh, I love Nipsey Hussle. Like, I saw so many people, and I'm just like, y'all probably didn't even know who this man was, and
you're
only
posting it because everybody else.
Exactly, like, for you, it's different. Like, you come from the coast, that's your thing. But to see people like, I'm from New York, people who I'm just like, come on, like, talking about long live him and all this
You
stuff.
don't even rep his side.
Exactly.
Like,
and also
like,
it's like, but do you really mean that? Like, you say it for a week, you're going to do an alkaline diet because now you want to follow the doctor's I'm like, do you even know what an alkaline diet is? And
you
then
don't want
it's
to do
done.
that to your body,
It was just, I just don't like the culture of like following things as soon as they come out. That's my only thing.
Yeah. And that is big. Big.
All right, that was the show. Let's go around the table and drop your IGs, everybody, real quick, and then we'll sign off. We'll start with Ashley again.
Alright, guys, it's Ashley Reese again. My name on Instagram is @Reese, and that's R3Es SE and 2 underscores.
I'm Kelly, and my Instagram is Kelly F as in Frank 1279.
I'm Diamond. Mine is DSherie, CHERIE3. DSherie.
Jamari, J_DOT_R.
And I'm Albany. My Instagram is Misfit, MISSFIT _Alb, ALB.
All right, Randy, you got anything to say?
No, just had a great show, and thank you all for coming out.
All right, and this is Flex Talk, Flexlanta's #1 entrepreneur podcast, and we're out.
Mankind. Check. Mankind. Check. Yo, I've been told I was a fool since a little kid. High school, I was hanging out with the cool kids. This is way back when I ain't know what cool meant. Hammer and some loose screws chilled in my toolkit. Clever really, was never really a school kid. True shit, I'm not sure how old I was when the rules hit. Hank Aaron calling a shot. Playing baseball, 8-ball in the side pocket with the pool stick. My mama told me I was such a fool. I went to war, I came back like another dude. You know how it feels to feel like another you, huh? Reminiscing about flying, running through the fire, escaping the Messiah on 100 proof, running shoot. Gunning troop was the move, too big was the shoes. Trying to stay alive was the move. I was a fucking fool, like what you fighting for? This can't be real, this can't be life at all. And this is what they try to call a righteous cause? I should've spiked the ball, I was a fucking fool. I thought that I was fumble proof. In the mirror like who the fuck is you?
I pledged allegiance, I placed my hand across my heart. I crossed my heart and hope to die. Confess my love, got no reply. No surprise party, I survived hardly. I surmised I was partly insane, thinking a uniform and fighting in the army would change how I was recognized. Guess it was foolish that I expected a better life. Just cause I fought for it, just cause I bled and for all the people I lost for it. I paid the cost for it. It's Black History Month, I'm trying to march forward. Forward march in the dark forest. I got the heart for it. Only you can prevent forest fires. Sticks and stones, that's a forest lighter. Water bending, forcing fire. Fire upon the church, bring the water miners. Minor key, please call the choir to sing Amazing Grace.